America's funniest home videos. Weeknights starting at 7 on Superstation WGN.
The Leadoff Man, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Big news today before a huge weekend of Cubs and Cardinals baseball. Carlos Zambrano, the Cubs ace pitcher, now locked in through at least 2012 as he inks a 5-year contract extension through 2012 with a vesting option for 2013. He's not pitching today, but of course he'll be available as a pinch hitter. What a beautiful day for Cubs baseball as they welcome in their rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals. Both teams have playoff aspirations. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to the Leadoff Man. I'm Len Casper. Again, a huge day for Carlos Zambrano and for the Chicago Cubs. There was a lot of thought that he might get his contract extension done around opening day, but with the uncertainty, the team being sold, it was put on the back burner for a while. But Barry Praver, his agent, and Jim Hendry stayed in touch all season long. We're going to hear from Jim Hendry live during the ball game, but he talked to the media today along with Carlos and his representatives. A 5-year contract extension, a full no-trade clause. Let's hear from Hendry and Big Z.
Obviously, we're thrilled to be here today. I can't say enough good things about the people involved to help get this done at a very difficult and unusual time of year to do this kind of an extension with a obviously one of the marquee pitchers in the game and certainly the marquee free agent in the industry. And it's a great testimony to Carlos and his representatives.
I feel happy right now. I feel, comfortable right now, but it's not enough. I have a mission to complete it, and I have a lot of way to go with my teammates to lead this team to the promised land, and that will complete the mission.
This was a very complicated situation. It was very bad timing. Nobody's fault, and I think as tough as it was on Carlos to have the magnitude of the deal not be concluded before opening day, I never saw in him that he didn't understand why. I'm sure there was frustrations, but I think he understood that I was telling him the truth, why it couldn't be done, and that's where the 10 years in the bank together kind of, weighs in, because it would have been a lot easier for him to just say, well, you know what, I'll give you a good shot in November, but I'm going to go out and see what's out there.
Not everything is about money, There's I know that if I go to the free agency, there's a lot of things that will come to me and offer me more, but I feel comfortable here. I feel good here. My family feel good here. My wife, this is my town, my home, my city, and I love Chicago. I love the Cubs, and I've been here. And, Jim knows me since I was 16 years old. So, I like to stay here, and thanks God that I'm staying here for more longer time.
Well, Carlos will next pitch Sunday night against these Cardinals. It's a 4-game series. That will be Game 3. Let's hear from his manager, Lou Piniella, on the big news.
Carlos is certainly one of the top pitchers in Major League Baseball, and it's great that he'll be able to continue his career as a Cub. It's not too often that one player can play his whole career with an organization, and looking ahead, Carlos certainly has a chance to do that. So as a manager, I've got to be really pleased, because he goes out there and competes and wins, and the fans here in Chicago enjoy him. He's competitive, and like I said, it's a win-win for both sides.
And, of course, it comes just a few hours before a huge series. The Cubs with a much-needed win yesterday over the Reds, so they're only a half game back of Milwaukee. The Cardinals with a season-high 5-game winning streak. Should be a lot of fun. We'll talk about the matchup when we come back.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we don't just treat people as patients. We treat them as family.
Claire! I'm alive!
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Everybody say, ah, oh, ah.
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
This kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon. That's a great idea.
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
That's cold.
When your in-home disasters become America's biggest laughter, we've got it all caught on tape. Every weeknight, you get all the hilarious moments of AFE. Even when things go extremely wrong, laughter makes it oh so right. It's the cranks, pranks, and all-out stupid maneuvers that make Monday nights a splash. Join Tom Bergeron as he brings you the ultimate in reality television.
Common sense is the enemy of comedy. My new motto, stop thinking, start taping.
It's a knockdown, flipped around good time. So when life gets a little crazy, remember to take some time to laugh. America's funniest home videos. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home.
And welcome back to the leadoff man. A couple of teams that think they can win this National League Central. The first place team right now is Milwaukee, but the Brewers really scuffling. The Cubs had dropped the first 2 games of that Red Series, but a huge win yesterday, scoring 12 runs, tying a season high, also a season high 20 hits. Tonight it'll be Bronson Arroyo against Jeff Suppan in Milwaukee, and of course the Reds are playing pretty well. And how about the offenses for both the Cardinals and the Cubs here lately? Last 3 games, the Cardinals hitting .336, the Cubs at .321. They're hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and the Cubs really doing the job with runners in scoring position. Let's hear from Lou Piniella about this season series. And of course, the Cardinals were dead about a month ago, but not anymore.
When you're playing these teams as many times as you do, you get opportunities. You have some injuries, you have lackluster play, but all of a sudden you get it together and you've got a chance, and this is a perfect example. Cardinals are playing good ball right now, and it's up to us now to head them off. We'll go out and play and compete, do the best we can. Cardinals are coming in here, I would assume, with a lot of confidence. So this will be a fun baseball long weekend here in Chicago for our fans and for the rest of the country that follow the National League.
Fans are ready for the Cubs hosting the Cardinals. Cubs 5-3 versus St. Louis this year, but just 1-2 at Wrigley Field. We'll talk about the pitchers in a moment.
How long is this gonna last? I'm ready to hit the Bud Light. I already took care of it.
Say, well, all right, now we are gathered here today to join in marriage, Bob and Julie. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Julie, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Going once, going twice, and now pronounce you husband and wife, you may kiss the bride.
And away we go. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
So what I owe you?
100, 100 and a quarter, 100 and a half, 1 divided 200, 2 and a quarter.
That's cold.
Crazy, man. Man, you all big time now. I never see you. What? Oh, man, you can see me anytime you want.
You give me season tickets?
Nah, check it. You get Dish Network, you get football 24/7 on the NFL Network.
Get in the game with Dish Network and get football 24/7 on NFL Network and games 5 nights a week for just $29.99 a month.
Happens everywhere I go.
Want all this football? Get in the game with Dish Network.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas Touch.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making this worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Now the pitchers for the opener of this set. Rich Hill with just 2 wins over his last 17 starts, but we keep pounding home the fact the Cubs are not scoring for him. He's still getting the worst run support in the major leagues. Braden Looper 2-0 against the Cubs this year. He likes the early game time. 6-0 with a 184. Best daytime earned run average in the National League. So we're ready. The Cubs renew their storied rivalry with the Cardinals. Derek Lee, Albert Pujols. We'll have all the action coming up next.
The Leadoff Man has been brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that let you escape into another world. Where you can be a hero.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
A queen.
I am my father's daughter. I am not afraid of anything.
A thief.
It's not about the money. We like to chase.
Where you can be a little crazy.
You're crazy.
You're beautiful.
Where your dreams come true.
Where I feel like I could fly.
Where you can fall in love.
Are you the author of the plays of William Shakespeare?
I am.
Then kiss me again, for I'm not mistoken.
Where you can go back in time.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Or where you can go back home. Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that are fun for the entire family.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
With action.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. What? Because you made a phone call.
Adventure. And everything in between. From the classics to the cutting edge, and from first kisses to first loves, our movies are where dreams come true. Superstation WGN.
Another good thing about Geico is they've got, like, real live people working there 24/7. So, like, say you need to report a claim, right? A real person will be there to help you. Then you can use Geico.com to view photos of the damage, track your claim, print an estimate. You want an English muffin? They literally hand you a toasted muffin with butter and jam. Oh, it's tasty. That's a complete dramatisation, of course, but you get my point.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This fall, it's a crime.
Oh, I slipped and pooped.
That they're cops. Reno 911.
Premieres September 14th on Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
From the friendly confines on Bob's favorite day of the year, Floppy Hat Day from Wrigley Field. No extra hype needed today. We just have to say 2 words: Cubs, Cardinals. And it means a lot. Both teams think they can win this division. Cubs a half game back at Milwaukee, and the Cardinals now, believe it or not, just 2.5 out. Game 1 here on WGN. Welcome to Cubs baseball. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Huge news. We'll talk about it later with Cubs general manager Jim Hendry. Carlos Zambrano is now signed through 2012. But first things first, this is a huge series for both teams, and it's all about the pitching here in the last couple months.
Well, the Cubs and the Cards have both had some offensive outbursts lately, but if you look at these numbers and compare what the clubs have done in this month, it all gets down to the pitching. The Cardinals with a team ERA of 3.79 so far this month, and consequently they've made up some ground in this race.
It's also about the offense. You have to score to win, and a guy who really has helped the Cubs do that lately, he's probably been the best hitter consistently in the second half, Jock Jones.
Well, Jock Jones has really figured out a good approach for himself at the plate, driving the ball to the opposite field. You see what he's done over his last 25 games, and especially important this weekend, he's really played well against the Cards this season and in his career.
Tweaked his left ankle in his final at bat yesterday, but he said today he's fine and ready to go. Rich Hill will pitch for the Cubs today. Braden Looper for the Cardinals, 2-0 against the Cubs, and he loves pitching under the sun.
Oh, this guy's 6-0 in the daytime with an ERA under 2 at night. He's 4-9 with an ERA of almost 7. Of course, the sun's going to be shining brightly today. Hopefully the Cubs will be able to figure out a way to pull the shades on him.
All right, the wind blowing in, but a beautiful day for Cubs baseball. And now Wayne Messmer with our anthem.
And kindly remove your caps. Join along with me, Chicago Cubs public address announcer Wayne Messmer, accompanied by Gary Pressey at the Wrigley Field, Lowry, Oregon, in a singing and playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Huge weekend here in Chicago, the Aaron Waters Show. Great to have the flyby as well, and we'll have the first pitch. Cardinals Cubs from Wrigley Field.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi, your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Whacked Out Sports, where the crash diet meets the all-you-can-eat asphalt buffet. All aboard the Bruise Cruise. We are dancing with the Scars. The most insane sports blooper show ever. Whacked Out Sports. Premieres September 16th on Superstation WGN.
My adrenaline is pumping.
Okay,
Okay, I've been working on this plan for 3 years, and today's the day.
Okay.
Every Friday, the same Bud Light delivery guy takes the same route past us.
Okay.
You're the only one who can make the leap.
Okay.
When I say go, you jump over, grab some Bud Light, and jump back.
Okay.
Here he comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go.
What'd you say?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Seriously, what'd you say?
That's cold.
You fell so madly in love.
Rob loves me for who I am.
It's really amazing to feel that Harut loves me so unconditionally.
This is eHarmony.com, where thousands of people have found that one special person to accept and love them for who they really are. And right now, you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with?
We were just so overwhelmed because it was love at first sight.
eHarmony.com.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, all right. You gotta love the floppy hats. I'm telling you what, this is baseball right here, boys.
I thought you had your own secret entrance here into the ballpark.
Well, they said the first 10,000 fans, I'm a fan, and I was one of the first 10,000. So some poor sap got shut out of the floppy hat today.
Oh, what a day. And today's Cubs broadcast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is presented in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and brought to you in 5.1 Dolby surround sound. Well, the Cardinals are surging. Looked like they were out of it just a few weeks ago, but they're only 2.5 back, 2 behind the Cubs per second. David Eckstein leading it off. Brian Ludwig is in left. Pujols and Encarnacion back in the lineup for the first time in over a week. Roland, Edmonds, Molina, Yadier Molina with a huge 2-homer game yesterday. Braden Looper hitting 8th. We'll talk about that today. Brendan Ryan hitting 9th.
Let's take a look at the Cubs defensively. Brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Merton and Jones in left and center. Darrell Ward getting the start in right field today. Left-handers do considerably better against Braden Looper. Ramirez and Terrio will play the left side. Fontenot and Lee will play the right side. Jason Kendall behind the plate today for left-hander Rich Hill. Rich Hill got a loss his last outing against the Colorado Rockies that broke a string of 4 straight no decisions.
And we're underway. Ball 1 from Hill to Eckstein. There's a busted bat floater that will drop just into the seats. Let's get the umpires. Angel Hernandez in his 15th year back at the plate. Ted Barrett at first. Mark Carlson from Joliet at second. The crew chief is Darrell Cousins at the hot corner. .74 beautiful degrees. The wind right now out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour. It's blowing in. And a 1-1 pitch to Eckstein, who chokes up on that bat. He fouled it back on a curveball, 1-2.
You may hear what sounds like thunder from time to time, but as Len mentioned, the Air and Water Show warming up today before the beginning of the Air and Water Show tomorrow. We'll see planes flying over the ballpark all day long.
Don't know how much of an air show we'll see in the ballpark with that wind blowing in. Didn't hurt the Cubs yesterday. 12 runs on 20 hits. Season high in hits. Tied the season high in runs. Third time they've scored a dozen. This is the kind of at bat you'll normally see from David Eckstein.
Yeah, David Eckstein, if you keep him in the ballpark his first at bat, you're probably going to keep him in the ballpark all day. He's got 2 home runs all season. Both have come leading off the ball game.
Well, Another 1-2 pitch and another foul. Normally on a Friday afternoon, this would be the only game in baseball, but there is one other game going on. The Red Sox hosting the Angels in the first of a day-night doubleheader, leading 6-1 in the last of the third. But that's it. One game in the National League, one in the American League, everything else under the lights. Another foul. A career day for Mark DeRosa at the plate. He went 5 for 5, but not in the lineup today. I guess he got a shot in his hip, but he is available to pinch hit. So that's why he's not in the lineup this afternoon. Mike Fontenot playing second, and the ball hit right at him on the ground.
Big start today for Rich Hill. We mentioned coming off a loss in Colorado. He gave up a grand slam in that ball game to Jamie Carroll. 3 starts this month, 0-1 with a .571. I mentioned the loss to Colorado broke a string of 4 no decisions. He actually pitched well enough to win in 3 of those games, but as you mentioned, Len, the team just not scoring many runs for Rich.
According to Stats Inc., the Cubs run support average with Hill on the mound 3.27. By far the worst run support in the entire major leagues. Matt Cain second on that list, getting 3.59 runs. Ludwig playing left. He's the Cardinals' top pinch hitter. They lead the majors with 52 pinch hits. He has 10 of them. Tony La Russa's team, all of a sudden, 5 in a row, 7 of 8. Broken bat. Part of it ended up in the Cubs dugout right behind Felix Pa. Hope everybody's all right. Boy, protect that guy. He just signed a new 5-year contract with a vesting option for a 6th.
If you're watching the ball game today and Carlos Zambrano owes you money, now might be a good time to give him a call.
Over the 5 years, he'll get a guaranteed $91.5 million, averaging out to just over $18 million per season. That's the highest annual average of any current pitcher in a multi-year contract. Roger Clemens with a big 1-year deal with the Yankees. But Carlos did take less money than he would have gotten on the open market. There's no question about that. He wanted to remain a Chicago Cub. Pulled foul by Ludwig. Pinella very happy about today's news. We'll hear from Jim Hendry in the booth in the 2nd inning about how it all came about in mid-August, which is very rare. You don't see deals like this happen this late in the season too often. Great day to be on a rooftop. Great day to be outside. Bring your big screen TV out on the patio. Hang with us. It's Ramirez making the catch in foul ground. That ball was up in the air for a long time. Now let's hear from Lou Piniella on Carlos Zambrano taking a little less money to remain a Cub.
Well, he likes it here. That's the big thing. I think playing here in Chicago and playing Wrigley Field is special. Great fans. It's a big market. I can see why people want to play here and stay here.
Long-standing relationship with Jim Hendry. That helped a lot. He'll get a full no-trade clause for the 5 years of the contract. Albert Pujols bounces to third. Ramirez throws him out. Good start for Rich Hill. Cubs will come up against right-hander Braden Looper when we come back to Wrigley.
Hey, what are you doing tonight? Either composing an opera or falling asleep in front of the TV.
Well, if you're going to be watching TV anyway, why don't you come over to my place and watch Corner Gas on Superstation WGN?
Okay, but I like how you just assume I won't be composing an opera.
Or doing anything productive.
You know, the only reason I don't compose an opera is that I don't know anything about opera or how to compose stuff. And it seems like it'd be a lot of work. Otherwise, I would.
Well, of course you would.
Corner Gas premieres September 17th on Superstation WGN.
What up, P?
Yo, I got an idea.
I love our family tradition.
What's that?
Where we pass our plates to the right.
When did that become a family tradition?
When you ordered that.
New shrimp caprese with grilled garlic herb shrimp or new grilled steak caprese. 2 great new dishes at Olive Garden.
A desperate man.
I just want my job back.
An ambitious reporter.
You got to connect with those people out there.
John Travolta, Dustin Hoffman.
Coming up!
Mad City.
Tonight at 7:30 Eastern.
Now let's check in on Lou's Cubs lineup for today's game against the Cardinals, brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Ryan Theriot 3 hits yesterday. Jock Jones had 4. Derek Lee actually was pretty quiet. Ramirez with 4 hits, tying a career high. Darrell Ward in right today. Merton in left. Fontenot at second. Jason Kendall with good numbers against Looper, and Rich Hill hitting 9th.
And let's take a look at the Cardinals defensively. Ryan Ludwig in left. Jim Edmonds, a perennial Gold Glove winner in center, has had a rough year with injuries. Juan Encarnacion in right field. Roland and Eckstein on the left side. Ryan and Pujols on the right side of the infield. Yadier Molina, the big hitting star from the ball game yesterday, behind the plate for right-hander Braden Looper. Told you about Looper's numbers. A perfect 6-0 record in day games. Only 4-9 at night. And about a 6-run differential in ERA.
Well, many of the guys you mentioned in their lineup have battled some sort of injury at some point this year. And the first pitch from Braden Looper to Ryan Theriot misses, ball 1. One thing this team has been all year is loose. Except for that time, of course, around early June, you had the Zambrano and Barrett confrontation. But even after 4 consecutive losses, before yesterday's big win, Ryan Theriot, I guess, got some camouflage gear and some sort of duck calling noisemaker. He and Mark DeRosa were running around the clubhouse having fun. So they've really kept it loose. 3-0 on Theriot. And Lou Piniella said this is supposed to be fun. Give it your all. If we're good enough, we'll do it. If not, hey, at least you gave it your best effort. And as you know so well, Bob, the manager really does set the tone in that regard. There's a strike, 3-1. And I would also add that Lou doesn't spend a whole lot of time in that clubhouse. He believes that's the player's domain, and if he has something to say, he'll say it. But other than that, he lets them have fun.
Yeah, every manager has their own approach to that clubhouse, and Lou, like a lot of managers, feels that's the player's domain. That's their home. If he needs to talk to somebody, he'll send one of his coaches down to get him and bring him up to the office and deal with whatever problems may arise. But hey, players need to be comfortable in that clubhouse.
32-year-old righty deals and roller to Brendan Ryan playing second base. Now the hottest Cub, Jock Jones.
Hitting second to center fielder, number 11, Jock Jones.
Well, he left for precautionary measures yesterday after tweaking his left ankle right there. No sense in pushing it with the Cubs up big, but said he's fine. Well, he loves facing this Cardinal team. He has done a lot of damage against St. Louis. 11 for 23 this year, 382 with 6 home runs in his career. 2 strikes.
And this Cardinals team has had problems this year in the first inning of ball games. Nearly a 40-run differential in the first inning. The Cardinals have scored 43 first inning runs. Their opponents 84.
just off the outside corner. Well, it comes back to pitching. Their bullpen has been pretty good, but it's been the starting rotation that has given the Cardinals fits, but lately they've been excellent. Joel Pinheiro has done a good job his last couple of starts. He'll pitch Monday. Kip Wells and Anthony Reyes, who will also pitch in this series, have been much, much better in the second half. Jones strikes out swinging. Well, this number 2 spot has been extremely productive for the Cubs. Not only Jock Jones, but Jason Kendall and Mark DeRosa hitting over 500 the last 8 games.
Jones doing most of the damage in that 2-hole. Of course, DeRosa with the 5-hit game yesterday plugged into that 2 spot. Obviously, you like those kind of numbers, especially when your leadoff man is getting on base. Your 2 guy is doing what those numbers indicate they've been doing, and then you set it up for the guys in the middle of the lineup. Falls into place perfectly for Lou Piniella.
Derek Lee, really the only guy offensively who did not get into the act yesterday. 0 for 5. Right now with 99 career home runs as a Cub. See, Molina wants it toward the outside part of the plate. It's just outside. And now 1 and 2 on Lee. Boy, could you have dialed up a better day today for the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Air and Water show this weekend? Man, perfect. Two and 2. Former reliever called strike 3 on Derek Lee, his former Florida teammate, as Looper strikes out 2 in the inning. 0-0 after 1.
Okay, class. If you're in the South, you say, "Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light." Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light. In New York, you say, "Hey, give me a Bud Light." You got a problem with that?
Bud Light, you got a problem with that.
In East LA, you say, "Give me a Bud Light, Holmes."
Give me a Bud Light, Holmes.
More importantly, if somebody asks you for a Bud Light, you say, "Don't speak English."
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Bud Light?
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
That's cold.
Yo, oye mamita, no me tomes el pelo. Tú con tanta curva, mira yo sin freno.
Wiki, wiki. What? You told me to bring you a wrap with a little spice.
Yeah.
Wrap, not rap. Oh.
The wrap you're looking for is the new Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. It's the snack wrap you love, but a little spicier, because it has Chipotle barbecue sauce over juicy and tender chicken breast meat.
Rico.
From the small jobs that renew to more ambitious ideas that transform, Ace is here to help with expertise and solutions that work for you. Ace is your place with everything you need for your home, plus helpful advice. Almost like we're right there. Ace,
the helpful place.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
This fall, it's a crime.
Oh, I slipped and pooped.
That they're cops. Reno 911.
Premieres September 14th on Superstation WGN.
Hey, Wrigley, the drinks are on Big Z. You're darn right. Big day for the Cubs and for their ace pitcher, and Jim Hendry, Cubs vice president and general manager, in the booth with us. Carlos Zambrano signing a 5-year contract. Congratulations, Jim, and I know it was a long road.
Yeah, Len, it's a great day for us to wrap up Big Z for the next 5 years. Very important for our franchise moving forward, and it has been a long time coming. Barry Praver, his agent, and I have been working on this for, heck, we started even as early as spring training in '06 on an extension back then, and close to the finish line at the end of this spring. But we got the right guy moving forward, and it's going to make our offseason much easier to define. And I think Big Z will go out and pitch well the next 6 weeks.
This will be caught by Jock Jones, so Encarnacion is out. Well, the bottom line, and I was in the news conference, listened to you and Barry Praver and Carlos Zambrano. The theme throughout was you didn't want to let him go, and he didn't want to go anywhere. And yeah, that's a good way to start.
Absolutely. I tell you what, in the modern day world we live in, athletics and contracts and the mega dollars that are, you know, being signed for and given out, which is all hard to believe. The numbers are the numbers, but it was refreshing to confirm in this situation it's still a relationship business too. And he's been with us 10 years, and everything he said to the media all year is exactly what he's told me for the last year and a half, that he wasn't going anywhere unless I wanted him to go somewhere. And he kept his word today, so it's a great day for us. It really is.
I'll tell you, Bob, you and I talk so much about maybe the most underrated factor when it comes to starting pitching, and that is durability. I mean, not only the excellence, but you know that Carlos is going to take the ball every 5th day, and that makes it a much safer contract.
Yeah, I tell you what, Lenny, he's never been on the DL. He's a horse, and he's only 26 years old. And I'm telling you, there isn't a doubt in anybody's mind in our industry that if this went into November, he's looking at 7 times a huge number to maybe leave here. So the timing was good. It's very rare, too, that an athlete would take a deal in the middle of August when he's so close to free agency. So, yeah, it's a good day for all of us.
It's Jim Edmonds at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on.
It may be a little premature to look forward, but what does this do to the ability of the ball club to add players next season?
Well, Bob, I'm never one to say we're not going to keep working at it. The company has been great to me. Certainly we're allowed to spend a significant amount of dollars. But when you look around now, with Z coming back, it'll be able to kind of define in small areas where we need help. The best thing that's happened to our ball club and our franchise this year is we've had so many people from our farm system come up and be contributors. They're not all superstars. You know, you can only have so many guys that are making $10 million plus contracts for length. But when you can come up with people in-house like Terrio and Fontenot, or a smaller deal like DeRosa, you know, these things are important. And you know, Felix Pie is going to be a good player. Rich Hill's going to be a real quality pitcher. Marshall's held his own. Marmol's going to be a late inning guy. So, you know, we're not going to need a high volume amount of people in the offseason. We're going to try to pick and choose the right guys, and we're going to be maybe in the trade market a little bit more, or attempt to be, instead of just a free agent market. So the better your farm system does, the more chances you have to augment your team and to make better deals with people from your system.
Well, and I think that blueprint has been written. When you look at teams that have had success for extended periods of time, it's a combination of some wise free agent signings, but just as equally important is bringing those guys up from your own system that contribute.
Absolutely. And we've got the right guy running our draft now in Tim Wilkin. We've had 2 real successful drafts under his control. He built the Toronto Blue Jays for years at about 10 drafts. He's hit a lot of bullseyes in his day. And Oneri Flita, who I feel tremendously about the job that he's done, and all the things we read all winter about we didn't have a good farm system, this or that, and the players that we've added from our system this year certainly should make Oneri feel like he was doing the right things all along.
Curveball back, Edmonds off the plate, and called a bit inside, apparently 2-2.
Maybe just a little bit of late break there. It looked like it didn't quite get back to the corner, but it knee buckles Jim Edmonds. He backs out of the way and just off the inside corner.
Hill coming back on a 2-2 inside again. Jim here with 2 outs up. I want to ask you about where your team is right now. Half game out. If the Cubs win today, be tied for first.
Well, you know, it's been an up and down situation in the standings. We all felt we should have been a lot better early in the year, and then we had a real good run, and then we had a little hiccup lately when Soriano and Ramirez were out at the same time. But I think we're back on track, and we're poised to make a good run at it.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, and it will be a lot of fun the final 6 weeks. Jim, thanks and congratulations.
Thank you, Lenny. Bob.
Who is Dave Chappelle? Really? He's Samuel Jackson. Tiger Woods.
For Shizzle.
Rick James. Lil Jon. Blackzilla. A Black Klansman. A Milkman. Tron Carter. Silky Johnson. Gallagher Prince. And he's the host of the wildest, baddest, funniest, most outrageous show on television.
It's a celebration.
Chappelle's Show is coming to late night.
Premieres September 14th on Superstation WGN.
Hi, welcome to Conglomerated Airlines. We have 2 emergency exits on this plane, one in the front of the plane and one in the rear. Sit back, relax, enjoy your 4-hour, 50-minute flight.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
This is the gel that got America gelling. Now Dr. Scholl's has put 2 amazing gels together to create an insole that's soft and supportive for outrageous comfort. The new improved massaging gel insole. Dr. Scholl's. Gelin'.
The legends, the music, the dancers. The stars you'll always remember. The clothes you'd like to forget. Old School Soul Train is back in style.
I can't get enough of that funky stuff.
Soul Train, Saturdays at 2.
More bounce checks. Who is it? Peter Parker. Is he from down here? Marge Simpson. That sounds familiar. She's bounced checks here before, I think. Don't take checks from Marge Simpson.
This is one for you.
He's still trying to track down Arthur Fonzarelli.
Cardinals and the Cubs from Wrigley Field. Cubs 2 games ahead of them for second. They've been doing this for a long, long time. So 9th on the list. And the Cubs with the Pirates, Phillies, the Braves, and the Cardinals in the top 9. And they've been battling since 1892. Cubs and the Cardinals. Ramos Ramirez leading off the bottom of the second. Thanks to Jim Hendry for joining us. And today's a huge day. I mean, you talk about how long it took to get this deal done. And it sounded, Bob, like the 2 sides were very close right around opening day. And factors kind of out of their control ended up delaying things. But everybody thrilled to have this thing done.
Well, they're just the fact is there aren't many guys like Carlos Zambrano out there. You bring up a great point, Len, about his durability, his willingness to take the ball on his regular turn. Knock on wood, the guy never gets hurt. He's a great athlete. He wanted to be here. I mean, it was just, I think it was a good deal for both sides.
And there's ball 4, and the first base runner of the afternoon is Aramis Ramirez on a leadoff walk. He kind of got lost to the shuffle yesterday. He tied his career best with 4 hits.
Only 4 hits.
Only 4. Probably what Mark DeRosa told him.
Yeah, this is a tough league when you get 5 knocks one day and can't break the lineup the next day.
You don't think Mark walked around and said, how many hits did you have today?
Yeah.
I had 5.
Let's see. How many did you have?
She thinks Ron is hot.
I think Ron's cool.
I think he's cool today. Nice breeze up here at top Wrigley Field. Darrell Ward getting the start in right. Hitting .333 in his 11 starts, so he hasn't been in the lineup a whole lot. 8 at first base. This is his 4th start in right.
We talked about it earlier. Lefties with almost a 50-point advantage in the batting average. Home runs equally divided, even though the lefties haven't had nearly as many at-bats as the righties.
Kick and the pitch. Called strike. It's 1-2 on Darrell Ward. And a word for Angel Hernandez.
Well, That's similar to the Rich Hill curveball that I said didn't get back to the inside corner. I don't think that Braden Looper sinker quite got back to the inside corner, but it gets a call from Angel Hernandez behind the plate today.
And now 1-2. There's a bouncer. Pujols with two hands. He'll get the out at second. Back to first. That's not an easy turn, although Pujols was pretty close to the bag. The 3-6-3. Albert Pujols last year won his first Gold Glove.
Now watch how quickly Pujols spins and gets his body into a throwing position, all in one movement. That's the key to the play. Get the ball to that middle infielder quickly so you can get back to the bag to take the relay throw. And Pujols, with those quick feet, got it to Eckstein in a hurry for an easy double play.
There's not much that Albert can't do, and like Prince Fielder, he plays about as far away from first base as any first baseman in the league.
You can see how far off the line he is for Matt Merton. Well, the reality is you can probably count on one hand the number of times you see a right-hander go right down the right field line, especially against a right-handed pitcher. They're usually going to hit the ball toward the middle of the field or to their pull side. Rarely will they go right down that first base line. So Albert Pujols moves well off the line to try to plug that hole between first and second.
Looper's 1-1 pitch. Merton hits a ground ball. Brendan Ryan handles it easily. Leadoff walk, no runs. Pitchers dominating early on. 0-0.
These doctors are on the cutting edge of comedy. Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
That's cold.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas Touch.
Superstation WGN is your home for big league baseball.
Can put it on the board! Yes!
So come on home.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Clear! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making this worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check out our baseball blog on WGNTV.com. On the blog today, I have a post on what it means to keep Carlos Zambrano in the mix. Game notes from our friends at Stats Inc. The morning press conference announcing the Zambrano signing and Jimmy Farrell's emotional leadoff man interview from yesterday. All on WGNTV.com. Click on the link for Len and Bob's blog. We just chatted with Jim Hendry. He got a little emotional talking about the long relationship he has with the Cubs ace, who will pitch Sunday night against Kip Wells in Game 3. This is what they call a weekend wraparound series, Friday through Monday. So the one night game is Sunday. Go figure. Yadier Molina had a huge day yesterday in Milwaukee. First career 2-homer game. He went 3 for 3. Hill coming back on a 2-2, lifted to right. No problem for Darrell Ward. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, the pitcher. This is something Tony La Russa has done now the past 13 games, hit the pitcher 8th since August 4th. And Tony's philosophy here, and he did it back in 1998 when he had Mark McGwire as his number 3 hitter. Now, of course, it's Albert Pujols, to give that guy more RBI opportunities. So he's the 3 hitter who bats the first inning. And then after that, he's almost like the cleanup guy.
Well, the one downside to this is if you're Yadier Molina, well, you have the pitcher hitting behind you even though you're in the 7th spot in the lineup. I mean, I can see the positives for Tony La Russa. I see why he does it, as you mentioned, with the idea of so-called back-to-back leadoff hitters before the middle of your lineup, but it does change the look of the bottom of the order as well. I mean, Yadier Molina is a guy who's used to hitting 8th. He's hit 8th a lot in his career, ahead of the pitcher in the 9th spot, but he's the guy that figures to suffer the most for moving that pitcher into the 8th spot.
Called strike 3 for punch-out number 3 for Rich Hill. Lou Piniella has been asked about that idea, and he said basically he wouldn't do it because he doesn't want to embarrass the position player who would have to hit 9th. Today for the Cardinals, it's Brendan Ryan, rookie second baseman. But that was not, by the way, Lou's comment, not a knock at all on Tony La Russa. They've known each other for a long, long time, both from Tampa, and he said, hey, he knows what he's doing. Tony La Russa has had a lot of success in the big leagues, won the World Series last year. And La Russa, the second manager to win a World Series in both leagues. Sparky Anderson the other. La Russa also won it with Oakland in 1989. And what you just saw is something I know you experienced all the time. He was right there. He's staring over into the Cubs dugout.
Eyeballing that dugout. Not only Tony La Russa, but Dave Duncan, Joe Patini, his bench coach, Al McRae, the hitting instructor. They'll all sit over there and watch every move you make in that dugout. They watch every move the base coaches make. They watch the runners to see if they tip off anything. They watch the hitters to see if they might do something differently on a hit and run or a bunt, as opposed to if they're just up there swinging away.
And a base hit into center. That's the first hit of the contest. And it's the number 9 hitter for the Cardinals, but again, not the pitcher. It's funny how you get used to certain situations, and I usually write in the pitcher batting numbers before the series because you have the probables, and I'm writing in the Looper in the 9th spot. Then I had to quickly erase it because I forgot that he hits 8th. Dontrelle Willis actually hit 7th twice in 2005 for Jack McKeon, but they had some injury problems. Dontrelle's a very good hitter, but again, Tony didn't do this because he has pitchers who hit. That's not the reason. Big leg kick by Hill, swing and a miss, a rare whiff by a good contact hitter David Eckstein.
Of his work in progress for Rich Hill, holding those runners on at first base. The high, slow leg kick that time. We've seen him use an abbreviated leg kick. We've seen him use the slide step as he does right there on the next delivery to David Eckstein. I mean, and I think it's so important for Rich Hill. It's something that he is going to need to do better to be the best he can possibly be. You have to be able to at least slow down the opponent's running game, and for a left-handed pitcher, that should be an easy thing to do. And it doesn't stop with just a runner at first base. If they get runners to second base, it's equally important that Rich Hill pays attention to the guys out there at second. He has a tendency to get really slow with runner at second base, and we've seen teams attempt to steal third against him because of that.
The Cardinals have just 39 steals, tied for the fewest in the entire major leagues. Toronto also with 39. They have not run a whole lot. Ryan is 1 for 1. And Hill's going to check on him. Eckstein draws the walk. So a rally after the pitcher made the second out. Number 9 hitter with a single and then the walk to Eckstein.
You know, for me, Len, baseball is one of those sports that's probably harder than any other to play what if. What if Ryan was hitting in the 8 spot instead of the 9 spot? Well, if he does get that base hit, and there's no guarantee he would have in the 8 spot.
But let's say he did.
Let's say he did, then Braden Looper probably comes up to sacrifice him to second base, and then the following walk to David Eckstein. You end up with the same situation that you probably would have had the 8 and 9 hitters been flip-flopped in a more normal alignment. So at least this first time through the order, it doesn't appear to be a huge advantage.
Well, they were flying over the ballpark during the news conference. Carlos Zambrano news conference. You could really hear those jets coming over.
Carlos is probably thinking about buying one of them.
I think he can afford it. By the way, there's a vesting option for a 6th year, which would be 2013. The original parameters of the deal was it was going to be a 4-year contract, but that would have included, or in addition to this year, because they were talking in spring training, as Jim mentioned, and since it's so late in the season, they decided to go with 5 years. Contract in 2013 would kick in if he's first or second in the Cy Young in 2011, or first, second, third, or fourth in the Cy Young in 2012. At that point, it becomes Zambrano's option, and it's at a cool $19.25 million. You hear the phrase, he's in the catbird seat? That'd be a pretty good position to be in.
The catbird moved out of the way so Carlos could sit in the catbird seat.
And for a guy, Bob, who's only 26, at the end of this 5-year deal, he'll be 31 and can still maybe get that next huge deal. A lot of times you only get one shot at it. Ward drifting back, with plenty of room, and the inning is over. The Cardinals strand a pair. 2.5 in the books, still waiting for that first run.
What up, P?
Yo, I got an idea.
I love our family tradition.
What's that?
Where we pass our plates to the right.
When did that become a family tradition?
When you ordered that.
New shrimp caprese with grilled garlic herb shrimp or new grilled steak caprese. 2 great new dishes at Olive Garden.
When your in-home disasters become America's biggest laughter, we've got it all caught on tape. Every weeknight, you get all the hilarious moments of AFE. Even when things go extremely wrong, laughter makes it oh so right. It's the cranks, pranks, and all-out stupid maneuvers that make Monday nights a splash. Join Tom Bergeron as he brings you the ultimate in reality television.
Common sense is the enemy of comedy. My new motto, stop thinking, start taping.
It's a knockdown, flipped around good time. So when life gets a little crazy, remember to take some time to laugh. America's Funniest Home Videos. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home. Da Vinci's Inquest. Weekdays on Superstation WGN.
Celebrity Bat Kids brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 14-year-old Courtney Dent from Roscoe, Illinois. Grant Bradkey, 10, from St. John, Indiana, having a great time at Wrigley Field thanks to our friends at Walgreens. For information and official rules of the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids sweepstakes, go to WGNradio.com. One strike on Mike Fontenot. Well, out of the Cardinal lineup because they're facing a left-hander today. Former left-handed starting pitcher Rick Ankiel has really given this team a lift, hitting .296, 3 home runs already in just 7 games. But it's Juan Encarnacion getting his first start in over a week. The latest controversy, it's kind of a fun one, is his last name. We've heard Ankiel, but it's actually 3 syllables. Like ankle, but add an E in the middle. Ankiel. I asked him today, and we always try to say it how the player prefers it, so he appreciated that. So Rick Ankiel on the bench and available to hit. Boy, huge power year at AAA. 32 home runs, leading the Pacific Coast League when he got called up. It's quite a story.
Oh, it's definitely a warm and fuzzy story, especially for Cardinal Nation. You look at the downside of Rick Ankiel's season up to this point, though. In 27 at-bats, he has struck out 11 times, so it's kind of been an all-or-nothing proposition. He does have 3 home runs in only 7 ball games played.
Line in the left, and it'll be caught by Ludwig on the slide. Kind of a half dive by Ludwig to Rob Fontenot.
Chris Duncan also out of the lineup today because of the left-hander on the mound for the Cubs, and Ryan Ludwig makes a nice running diving catch here. I'm not so sure Chris Duncan makes that play out there in left field. Now, sometimes a change you make in your lineup to get your best offensive team on the field results in having a better defensive team on the field.
Strike 1 on Jason Kendall. By the way, if you're unfamiliar with the story of Rick Ankiel, his pitching career basically was derailed by wildness. At one point, he just could not throw a strike. And it looked like his career was basically over. And as a pitcher, it was. But in 2005, he converted to the outfield. One and 1 the count on Kendall. Cubs still seeking their first hit today. Rich Hill on deck. I mentioned the daytime numbers for Braden Looper. Sometimes it's just a coincidence. There are certain guys who all of a sudden, pitch in the daytime, they're unhittable, pitch at night, and they're human.
The numbers are so drastically different for Braden Looper. I'd be willing to venture a guess he doesn't throw any differently at night than he does in the daytime. Just something about his delivery, perhaps something about his preparation before a day game that makes it a little easier for him to go out there and pitch well.
Scott Rowland throws out Kendall. Well, at night, Looper is 4-9 with a 6.78. So go figure. And under half his starts have been in the daytime. So maybe Tony La Russa will try to reconfigure their rotation to make sure he pitches in the day games. I bet you Braden Looper and his wife go to a lot of matinees.
You think so?
Yeah. They don't go to a lot of the 9:30 shows.
Well, there have been a lot of players throughout the history of the game, both as pitchers and as offensive players, who have highly skewed numbers day, night. Some guys are much better nighttime players. They have a hard time getting up early in the morning and getting their engine started before a day game. Other guys are morning people. They love to get out of bed and get after it. So I don't know if there's an easy way to explain Braden Loopers, but I'm sure Tony La Russa appreciates his success in the daytime.
Looper, by the way, makes his off-season home in the Chicago area, Palos Heights. That's where his wife Shannon is from. The line in the 1-2 to Rich Hill. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. No score after 3 from Wrigley Field.
Perfect.
All malt.
Always perfect.
All imported Noble Aroma hops. Together in a classic European-style brewing tradition.
Back together again. Yeah.
The beer brewed for connoisseurs. All malt makes all the difference. Experience the unmistakable taste of Michelob. Distinct by design.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22, or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
Watch Whacked Out Sports. Or if it ain't broke, some adrenaline-crazed Yahoo will break it for you. If you're into jaw-dropping car crashes or brain-throbbing head bashes, you're in the right place. As we take you from action to traction in the blink of a busted eye. It's the most insane blooper show around. Whacked Out Sports. Premieres September 16th on Superstation WGN.
My adrenaline is pumping.
We rolling, y'all.
New Orleans, there's no place like it. You're gonna love it.
It's a great place for families.
So much fun.
Fun.
Tons of fun. Everybody loves the French Quarter, where music comes bubbling right up from the street.
There's always something going on.
Come fall in love with New Orleans all over again.
You can even bring your younger brother.
Call now or visit NewOrleansOnline.com to order your free guide and get great hotel rates starting at $79.
What you waiting for?
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by Bud.tv, where entertainment is always on and only on www.bud.tv.
Great day at the ballpark. 0-0. Cardinals batting in the 4th inning. And it's Albert Pujols who hits for the 2nd time with nobody on base. Bears legend Gale Sayers will handle our 7th inning stretch a little bit later. The last time the Cubs faced the Cardinals, it was in St. Louis in July. Pujols began that set 0 for 11. Before getting hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, cranking a 3-run homer and singling home another run in his final 3 plate appearances for a 5 RBI night in the finale. I'll be honest with you, I just thought there was a huge round of applause, but it actually was a jet flying very close to the ballpark.
The crowd was really excited about that called strike 2.
That was... Ooh. Two and two. Moving fast. This is actually a good day for the podcast studios to check out the reinforced windows. Make sure they're going to hold up.
Yeah, I think that was a brilliant idea to put the bulletproof glass in there.
Well, that's for other reasons too. Yeah. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Pujols. We'll be taping a new WGN baseball podcast after the ball game today. In the left, a base hit. Hit number 2 for the Cardinals. So go to WGNTV.com and click on the link for Len and Bob's podcast. Download and enjoy.
I'll tell you, Len, over the course of this season, the Cubs pitching staff has done a pretty good job of at least controlling Albert Pujols. In some cases, shutting him down completely. In other cases, limiting the damage. Rich Hill got a pitch up that time. He tomahawked it into left field for a base hit.
Popped up by Encarnacion. And it's Derek Lee to make the catch. Encarnacion fouls out. This year, when you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.tv. You can watch every out-of-market game of the season live online, even when you're traveling. And this year, live radio broadcasts are included with a subscription to MLB.tv. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Scott Rowland 7 for 15 on the Cardinal trip. 4 hits Wednesday.
Well, that's the thing, Len. I was looking at the stats today, and we talk about advance reports all the time, and who do you want to pitch around in the opposing lineup? Who do you not want to let beat you? And it's a pretty tough choice right now. David Eckstein had a good series up in Milwaukee, went 6 for 15. Jim Edmonds was 6 for 15. Albert Pujols at first base was 6 for 14. Molina was 6 for 12. Scott Rowland 7 for 14. So I'm sure some of that is due to the fact that the Brewers didn't pitch them particularly well, but that's part of what you do in your advance meeting. You look at the videotape. These are the guys that have hit the ball well in the past 3 games. What have they been hitting? Sometimes it's a case of a faulty scouting report and you're pitching a guy wrong. Other times it's just a case of bad location on the part of the pitcher. That's what you have to try to determine if you're going to go after these guys. How do we want to attack them?
Pujols just 2 for 8. Been caught 6 times in stolen base attempts. Like he had a hard time getting a read on Rich Hill's delivery. 2-2 the count on Rowland. Let's see where this one was.
I think it was called inside. Pretty good looking pitch, though.
It's a tough take.
One thing in the early going, Rich Hill has proven that he's going to pitch to both sides of the plate, to righties and lefties. I think occasionally gets a little bit too much away from right-handed hitters. Gets a little too predictable, and they can lean out over that plate and take that fastball to the opposite field. But if he stands those right-handed hitters up occasionally, makes that outside pitch much more effective.
Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. Looked like Kendall kind of banged his hand. Now what's the call here? Yeah, Angel Hernandez is going to call Albert Pujols out because Rowland got in the way of Jason Kendall. That is a double play, and that's the end of the inning. And Tony La Russa is going to come out and argue with Hernandez. Jason Kendall banged, I believe, his throwing arm or hand into the batter.
Rowland kind of falls out across the plate. It was a little bit of a delayed steal, but Scott Rowland is in the wrong there, stepping out across the plate, getting in the line of fire for Jason Kendall in his effort to throw the ball to second base. I think the only argument Tony could possibly have is that Pujols was on his way back to first base, but that's not going to work either.
Still scoreless.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. With Southwest Airlines Internet specials, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to cities in the Midwest for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
From the small jobs that renew to more ambitious ideas that transform, ACE is here to help with expertise and solutions that work for you. Ace is your place with everything you need for your home. Plus helpful advice. Almost like we're right there. Ace.
The helpful place.
She's an actress.
It's like a cookie for manic depressives.
Yeah, now that's not going to show up on screen, is it? He's her agent.
So right now I'm thinking about being a boxing promoter.
And the only thing standing in the way of their success is each other.
I'd like for you to find the chimney and shove yourself.
All right, we're now representing the Omen. Did you check her head with a little 666?
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, there was only 2 6s. He got her just in time.
Life with Mikey.
Sunday at 3 on Superstation WGN.
Top of the order, first time through, just a walk and no hits for the Cubs against Braden Looper, who's already beaten the Northsiders twice this year. Scott Rowland charged with batter's interference, and that's why Albert Pujols was called out after the swinging strikeout. Jason Kendall just came back out from the tunnel after banging his throwing hand on Rowland.
Initially, I thought he hit Rowland on the helmet with his follow-through, but from our Southwest RoboCam, you'll see Kendall comes out on the delayed steal attempt, and in his effort to throw, he hits Rowland in the back of the right shoulder. May have jammed his thumb, may have jammed his wrist. Not sure exactly what happened, but Kendall immediately went up to the clubhouse after the inning and just now got back to the bench.
And Kendall gets a put out on not only the strikeout, but of Pujols as well. And I know you're all for that. Give those catchers more putouts.
It just really depends on the angle of his thumb, his fingers, his wrist when he made contact with Rowland. It can be incidental contact with no damage done, or you could badly jam your wrist or thumb or finger. He went right into the right shoulder of Scott Rowland with that right thumb.
And Rowland is fortunate it was his right shoulder, not his left. The surgically repaired left shoulder. Terrio into right, and that's the first Cubs hit. Terrio has seen 10 Braden Looper pitches in his 2 at-bats. Now Jock Jones, who struck out his first time but came in with an 8-game hitting streak during which he was hitting .514. Cubs snapped a 4-game skid yesterday with that win against the Reds. Right now 2 games over 500. The Cardinals are 2 games under, but have won 5 straight. Rowland in on the grass. Pujols about a half a step off of first. Long pause by Looper. Somebody asked for time. Finally, time is called at the plate. If the Cubs win today, they'll have the same record as the Brewers, who host Cincinnati tonight. Former Cardinal Jeff Suppan pitching for the Brewers.
What's been a pitcher's duel through the early going here today, and every base runner figures to be hugely important in this game. Looper paying a lot of attention to Ryan Terrio over there at first base. He's got one of the best throwing catchers in all of baseball behind the plate. Yadier Molina's thrown out 52% on the season. And also Molina, we should point out, this is the first base runner for the Cubs, first base hit rather for the Cubs. Loves to pick to the bases. Only 1 so far this year, but I think that's because of his reputation. People know he likes to throw to the base. They tend to get back to the bag a lot quicker than they did before the scouting report got out on Yadier Molina.
Good numbers for Jock here in this park. He came in today slugging .401 here in 07. First time his slugging was at 400 or better since May 6th He was at a season-high 406. He's on base at 336 coming in. Highest since he was at that same number on May 9th. Right now slugging .399 after the 0 for 1. And the on base .335. D. Lee on deck, 2-0 on Jones. Kick and the pitch. Ground ball. Ryan scoops it up, gets one at second base, and that's it. That was a good play by Brendan Ryan. That ball took an interesting hop, almost got by him. And he gets one out.
Well, a really risky play by Brendan Ryan, considering how far to his left he had to go to get to this ball. But able to spin, throw all in one motion onto his shortstop to get the force play on Ryan. Theriot made a nice adjustment on that bad hop that you mentioned. And Jock Jones with just too much speed beats the relay to first base.
So one out in the inning. It's outside on Derek Lee.
Boy, and if Derek's first at bat of this ball game is any indication, he's going to see a lot more of the same. What he's seen recently, everything away, away, away. Breaking balls off the outside corner, fastballs away. He rarely gets a pitch from the middle of the plate in anymore. There's a mistake breaking ball right there, middle of the plate.
Got the slider. For a strike, 1-1. Looper has a sign from Molina. Going away again. Caught the corner. A fastball.
Well, that move right there by Derek Lee, we've seen a lot of that over the last 3 weeks to a month of the season. Just kind of leaning out there to get a good look at that fastball. It tails back and catches the corner, and he ends up walking out across home plate on a pitch that he probably can't reach.
Two and two. Looper wants to chat with Molina. Well, we have a second. It's good to see Angel Pagan not only at the ballpark yesterday and again today. He's battling colitis, but he played catch for 5 minutes. He said still feels a little weak, but feeling better. Not quite sure when Angel's going to be back. He was on bed rest for several days. I'm sure was extremely bored. Lost some weight. Well, good to see him back at the ballpark. Cliff Floyd still on the bereavement list. His father's funeral will be tomorrow.
Yadier Molina behind the plate here as he gives signs to Braden Looper with a runner at first base. Now, normally a team will just give one sign with the runner at first base. But you'll notice Molina goes through a series of signs. A lot of those good base stealers can get out there to a point where they can pick up the catcher's signs. So to try to make sure that the base runner's not getting an advantage out there, Molina and the Cardinals go through a series of signs, even with the runner only at first base.
3-2. Jones runs. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Ball gets out. I wonder if Molina might be asking Angel Hernandez if Lee got in his way. Hernandez immediately put his arms to his side like the safe call, like no contact. Tony La Russa wants an explanation.
Well, that's the difference. There was no contact made. It's a very hard thing for a catcher to learn and usually comes with experience, but you've got to make contact with that batter. Molina gets off the throw cleanly. Still separation between Derek Lee and the catcher. No contact was made, so Jock Jones is safe at second base on a stolen base.
Clearly no contact was made. Saw the ball pop out. It beat Jones to second. mean, Bob, in that spot, does Molina, if he's trying to sell it, does he have to almost pull his hand back like, ouch, that hurt? I mean, that's the only way you can really sell it.
You just have to be sure to make visible contact.
Well, there was none.
And a longtime catcher in the major leagues, Benito Santiago, was one of the best I've ever seen at that. On a similar situation where the batter swings, his momentum carries him over the plate. Benito Santiago always made sure to make contact with that guy and always got the call that he was looking for at second base.
Well, we're not professional lip readers, but it really looked like Angel was saying there was no contact to Tony La Russa. So let's look at both. This was called batter's interference right there. I mean, clearly contact made.
And Rolen was probably in the same location that Derek Lee was right there on that play. But I think the difference logistically was Pujols was on a delayed steal. Jason Kendall took one extra step towards second base before throwing the ball. That's when contact was made. Molina, on the other hand, made his throw from the catcher's box, never came close to Derek Lee, and no contact was made.
And Darrell Cousins, the crew chief, trying to maybe move things along.
We'll take a look at these plays one more time. Jason Kendall and Yadier Molina, the respective catchers in the ball game today. And well, you watch Jason Kendall. He sees Pujols break. It's a delayed steal. He takes one step, then a second step forward. Contact is definitely made there with Scott Rolen. Molina, on the other hand, one step in a throw. His momentum does not carry him into the hitter. No contact made.
Meanwhile, Jones is at second, first base open. And Ramirez will be intentionally walked. We're going to go after Darrell Ward instead. For the second time, Ramirez will have received a free pass. I saw those lefty-righty splits. The Cardinals still going to take a chance that Looper can get out the left-handed hitting Ward. Jock with his 5th stolen base of the year. That was the other part of that play, Bob. The ball beat him there, but popped out of the mitt. Brendan Ryan. Well, they put on a show today, haven't they?
Oh, this is just a warm-up for tomorrow morning.
So the Cubs have 2 on for the first time today. No score in the 4th. Outside, ball 1 on Darrell Ward. What the Cubs need right now, they need a double. They've had 13 over their last 2 games. 8 yesterday, 4 in the second inning Wednesday, 4 more in the first yesterday. Ground ball, right side. Looper has to get over, and he does. It's the throw from Pujols. And that's the inning. Cubs lead 2. First time they've stranded runners. 0-0.
The legends, the music, the dancers. The very best of Soul Train.
An absolute smash.
The stars you'll always remember. The clothes you'd like to forget. Old school Soul Train is back in style.
I can't get enough of that funky stuff.
Soul Train, Saturdays at 2 on Superstation WGN.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas Touch.
Watch Funniest Pets and People and get your groove on. Kick up your heels. Maybe do-si-do or do-si-don't. Watch people and their pets get funky. It's so funny, it'll bring you to your knees. Boogie down with Funniest Pets and People. Brought to you by Kohl's Department Stores. Kohl's, expect great things.
A new threat is near.
We're looking at a nuclear holocaust.
And a new season is about to explode. Jack is back.
We're out of time.
24 weekends.
Saturdays at 11:30. Dog River is a small town with big laughs. Watch Corner Gas. Premiere September 17th. Exclusively on Superstation WGN.
Back here at Wrigley Field in the 5th inning. Rich Hill against Jim Edmonds. 1 ball, no strikes. More controversy. Cubs and the Cardinals.
Well, you got a manager for the Cardinals that went to law school, passed the bar exam back in 1979. He was pleading his case.
Merton on the move, and Edmonds is out.
Tony La Russa, one of 5 managers in Major League history that had their law degree, and the other 4 are all in the Hall of Fame. Monty Ward, Huey Jennings, Miller Huggins, and Branch Rickey.
I think there's much doubt that Tony La Russa will be in the Hall of Fame at some point as a manager with all of his success. Foul tip and a strike on Molina. Think about controversial calls or plays. We'll go back to April 20th, first game of that first series. The Cardinals beat the Cubs 2-1. Braden Looper got the win that day, and that was the weird play when Ronnie Cedeno on a walk was tagged out after he had touched second base. David Eckstein kept the tag on. That was in the 9th inning. And that bizarre obstruction play on the south side. Had some weird ones. Mark DeRosa got hit by a ground ball to end an inning. Aramis Ramirez given a hit. Just never know what you're going to see. Three and 2 on Molina. Looper on deck. Batting 8th. Well, Rich was solid in his last start on Saturday at Colorado until things really fell apart in the 6th inning. Gave up a grand slam to pinch hitter Jamie Carroll. He broke a 2-2 tie. He was charged with a season high 7 runs in 5 2/3. His last win was 6 starts ago against the Giants. That was a month ago, July 16th. Golfed high in the air and out of play.
And a lot of foul balls once again already in this game today against Rich Hill. We've talked about it in his last couple of starts. It seems like those opposing hitters, once they get to the 2-strike count, just find ways to make Rich Hill throw more pitches. David Eckstein started the ball game establishing that trend, and it's carried right on through here to the 5th inning. Foul ball after foul ball running up that pitch count.
Ball 4 on a close pitch. Walk number 2 for Hill. This Sunday is 7-11 night at Wrigley Field. Don't miss any of the action as the Cubs battle these Cardinals at 7:05. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Cubs commemorative medallion, compliments of 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven. Jason Kendall asked for time and got it from the home plate umpire. Ramirez ready to charge. He's already in pretty tight.
You'd expect a sacrifice bunt here from Looper, even though there's one out in the inning. He's done it 3 times successfully this year, but no guarantee. Tony La Russa likes to play games with his pitcher at the plate, especially with a slow runner like Yadier Molina on the bases. There's a huge hole on that right side of the infield. He may just turn Looper loose and let him try to take a hack through that right side. He may play a little hit and run. No guarantee you're going to see a sac bunt right here. A lot of people have a misconception that you play hit and run with your best base runners. Well, those are the guys that are probably going to be able to advance if the ball's put into play anyhow. The guys that need a little assistance are the slower runners. Get them started as the pitch is delivered, and ideally it opens some holes in the defense for the hitter.
Looper squares now and bunts it foul. Birthday wishes this weekend. Ann Swenson turns 30. Happy birthday, Ann. Scott Kyler, number 27, coming up tomorrow. Happy birthday to our production coordinator at WGN, Bridget Gonzalez. We'd be lost without Bridget. She takes care of pretty much everything. Squares again and takes, called, strike 3.
Now showing sac bunt with 2 strikes, and Rich Hill drops a curveball on it. Lays off that pitch. It just drops in there on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And the conventional wisdom is, in an obvious bunt situation, you throw a high fastball because you want the batter to pop the ball in the air and not allow that runner to advance. But I always felt if you could throw a good breaking ball, especially a righty breaking ball against a right-handed hitter, a hard slider down low and away, it's when you get that funny jab bunt at the ball. The guy never seems to get the barrel of the bat on the ball.
That ball was alive. How did it end up out there? Runner at first, 2 outs. Ball 1. It's always kind of fun to look at that run differential. Lately, the Cardinals, they have outscored their opposition 46-10 during their 5-game winning streak. So plus 36. They're still minus 63 on the year. So before the streak, they were being outscored by 99 runs on the season. That's a lot. Cubs right now plus 45. Fly ball, pretty well hit. Jock Jones is going back on it. He's at the warning track. He made the catch. Saved a run, banging into the wall out there. No padding behind the ivy. What a play. Still scoreless.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar in every corner of the world. reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
It began with a super soft gel from Dr. Scholl's that became an insole so comfortable that America started gelling. Now Dr. Scholl's has put together 2 amazing gels and created an insole that's both soft and supportive. The new improved massaging gel insole is here, and so is a new definition of outrageous comfort. Dr. Scholl's.
To stop a madman,
Millions will die.
only one team
You're not someone who plays by the rules.
Rules are made to be broken.
can weather the storm.
Insects bigger every year.
Ray Fiennes, Uma Thurman, and Sean Connery. The Avengers. Saturday at 7 on Superstation WGN. Whacked Out Sports. Your weekly dose of the most brain-rattling crack-ups, death-defying smack-ups, in the most dangerous sports, insane pile-ups. We can cram into a show dedicated to those who sacrifice life and limb. On Whacked Out Sports, their pain is your gain. Premiere September 16th on Superstation WGN.
My adrenaline is pumping.
Tremendous running catch by Jock Jones in center field to end that top half of the 5th inning. This scores a run if it gets down in center field. Jock running straight away from home plate, never takes his eye off the ball. Makes the catch and then crashes into the vines out there in center field. No respect for his own body whatsoever. What a play. When you make a play like that, everybody's your best friend. Ryan Theriot went over to bang fists with Jock Jones. His whole team waiting there to meet him. Mike Fontenot. And you know at some point Rich Hill will be there to put an arm around him. What a great play in center field.
And notice what he did. He did not run through the infield dirt. I've noticed when Jock goes out, he's of course play right a lot. He would always make sure to run around the infield dirt. I asked him once about that. I said, is that a superstition? He said, no, because guys are usually taking ground balls, so I want to get out of their way. But I think that's become his routine. And obviously when he goes back into the dugout, he goes around the dirt as well. Not quite Turk Wendell-like, but, you know, whatever works.
I'll tell you what would work right now. A couple of base runners here before we get down to Rich Hill's spot. Give Lou the opportunity to use his own pitcher to put down a sac bunt and set it up for the top of the order.
3-1 on Merton. The wind and the pitch. Bounce foul into the dugout. Cubs have been quiet offensively today. They were not quiet the last 2 games against the Reds. 388 average collectively. We mentioned the 13 doubles, 21 runs. The Cubs are tied in the win column with Milwaukee. Right now 61 wins. The Brewers with 62. Cardinals are only 1 back in the loss column, but 4 behind Milwaukee in the win column. Well, I give Alfonso Soriano a lot of credit. This is the first time he's ever been on the disabled list, and it would be very easy for him to either not be around a lot or to kind of mope because he's not a part of it. He's been the same guy, full of energy. I'm sure working a lot with Felix P.A., who hasn't played much lately since he came back. He's been a great influence, even on the bench. Another diving catch by Ludwig. That was a more difficult play than the one earlier, robbing Fontenot. This time it's Merton.
Now this soft line drive had some topspin from our Southwest RoboCam. That ball got out there in shallow left field, just started to die. Ludwig with another nice diving play out there in left field, and once again a play that I'm not so sure Chris Duncan would have been able to make.
It's always an interesting situation, Bob, when guys are on the DL, because some guys just kind of stay out of the way and are not really a part of the team, depending on how long they're out, while other guys become kind of the secondary hitting coach or the assistant pitching coach. Sit on the bench and look for if the other pitcher is tipping. You can still be a very valuable member of your team even if you're not active. I know the one thing guys don't want to, quote, get in the way, but you can be helpful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the get in the way part it involves more the training staff and their preparation to get the players who are eligible to play ready to go out on the field that day.
Ludwig again will come in. This time he stays on his feet.
Well, certainly there's ways to work around that. I mean, during the course of the ball game, one or the other of the trainers will be available if Soriano needs some treatments up in the clubhouse during the course of the ball game while his teammates are playing on the field. That's a very easy thing to do. It's just that time before the ball game when players are getting that last layer of tape put on, getting those last treatments before going out to play a ball game. That's when, as a DL player, you feel like you need to separate yourself, let the guys get ready to play the game, and I'll be out there on the bench to support them.
One and one on Jason Kendall.
I mean, that's when it becomes a problem. Sometimes you'll have many players on the disabled list that need treatment and need some care from the training staff, but you've also got 25 guys who are eligible to play, and they need the attention of the training staff more so than the guys on the disabled list at that particular time.
Bouncer foul. And not many managers will say it. Ozzie Guillen, who of course will just say whatever comes to his mind, probably said it best. And that is, he usually just talks about the guys who are healthy. Some of the injured guys probably don't like to hear it, but he said, I just want to talk about the guys who I can use today. Left center, Jim Edmonds makes the catch, almost knee high. That ball was pretty low, but he handled it no problem. Still scoreless.
The top three are taking you home with exclusive interviews.
I think the only thing that I would change or do differently.
Plus,
last week you said that America got it wrong when they voted off Tamira. What should America have done to get it right?
American Idol Rewind.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
With convenient flights every day, Southwest Airlines gives you the freedom to do business out of town and still come home at night.
Winston, I'm home!
Fly one of Southwest's 8 daily nonstops from Chicago Midway to the San Francisco Bay Area for just $99, including new service to San Francisco International starting August 26th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Crazy, man. Man, you all big time now. I never see you. What? Oh, man, you can see me anytime you want. Give me season tickets.
Nah, check it. If you get this network, you get football 24/7 on the NFL Network.
Get in the game with Dish Network and get football 24/7 on NFL Network and games 5 nights a week for just $29.99 a month.
Happens everywhere I go.
Want all this football? Get in the game with Dish Network.
Where's the remote?
I don't know. I thought you had it.
Corner Gas is about to start on Superstation WGN.
Oh, you probably took it with you when you went into the kitchen. Oh, I better take the remote with me in case I have to change a channel while I'm making toast.
I'm sure it'll turn up somewhere.
All right, fine. I'll get off the comfy couch and walk all the way over to the TV and walk all the way back here. Will that make you happy?
I'd be happier if you kept walking.
Corner Gas premieres September 17th only on Superstation WGN.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. No score, just 3 hits combined as Rich Hill and Braden Looper have dominated here in the early innings. And Bob, we want to pass along our sympathies to our good friend Mike Shannon, former Cardinal player and longtime broadcaster. He lost his wife Judy in late July after a long battle with brain cancer. It's been a very difficult year for Mike Shannon. Top of the order for St. Louis, David Eckstein. He'll lead it off against Rich Hill. It's been a very tough year for the Cardinals organization. Wearing the number 32 patch on their left sleeve after the death of Josh Hancock. And the Cubs were in St. Louis in late April. Two and one now on Eckstein. Fly is pulled foul to the left and out of play. Got an email from Mark Hall. Mark wanted to honor his father, who passed away Monday. Huge Cub fan. Said brought me up into the lovable losers club. Cubs trying to change that this year. Said he was a big inspiration to me. Whenever I think of the Cubs, I will always think of him. Mark from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Also want to send a big Cubs hello and a get well soon to Steve Pierce, recovering from surgery down in Champaign, Illinois, watching the ball game today. Get well soon, Steve.
2-2 from Hill. Eckstein strikes out. We were talking about wedding anniversaries the other day and marital bliss. Tim Burke emailed, wanted to wish his parents a happy 28th anniversary, which my dad was celebrating. It was yesterday at the game without my mom. So he was celebrating big anniversary without her. Happy 28th. Okay then.
Happy birthday to Luby Veal, 83 years old today. Been with the Cubs for 26 years. Happy birthday, Luby. John McGrath of Peoria, happy birthday. Barbara Greer from Spokane, Washington, celebrating a birthday today.
One and one on Ludwig. Pujols is next. Good curve. 1-2.
Jill Phelan celebrating a birthday today. Happy 18th to Amanda and Ashley Schlossberger from Highland, Indiana.
And Rich Hill, back-to-back Ks.
Boy, and especially notable that first strikeout of David Eckstein. That gave him 17 strikeouts on the year. And after his walk back in the third inning, that gave him 17 walks on the year. That's a guy that puts the ball in play most of the time. Eckstein led off with a strikeout. Ludwig followed with a strikeout of his own.
7 strikeouts, 2 walks for Hill. Pujols is 1 for 2. Called strike on the bender. Holding continuing in the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition. Dustin Egglestetter, I believe is pronounced, from Gutenberg, Iowa. One of the finalists, winning yesterday, 22 years old and recently diagnosed with bone cancer. And Dustin, one of the 10 finalists. Rich Hill now just over 100 pitches. Count level at 2-2. Encarnacion would bat next if Pujols gets on. Lots of strikes from Hill. Kick and a 2-2. Way up in the air. Is it going to stay in? Terrio over near the tarp, and he just ran out of room. Boy, really banged into that tarp. I think he wanted to run through it.
Pretty sure he would have made a dive over that tarp, but he got too close. You can see he banged his leg against it right there, tried to climb up on top. Just a little bit too late. He had a much better line on that ball than Aramis did. I think Ryan saw where it was going to come down, ran to the spot. Ramirez was more tracking the flight of the ball. A tough play for anybody right there. That ball's up in the stands. Boy, at some point in the future, though, you can just see Ryan Terrio on a dead sprint, leaving his feet, diving over that tarp up into the bleachers to try to make the catch on a foul pop-out. Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Rich looking for that put-away pitch. That's not it. Deep left center for Albert Pujols, and out. And the Cardinals lead 1-0. For Pujols, that is his 30th career home run against the Cubs and number 16 here at Wrigley Field.
We want to know what makes a great hitter. Great hitters rarely miss a pitcher's mistake. Rich Hill wanted to go inside with the fastball. The pitch is up and out over the plate. Look at Jason Kendall reaching. Good hitters don't let you make those kind of mistakes.
Well, the margin for error continues to be minuscule for Rich Hill. Pitched extremely well today, but finds himself down 1-0. Number 26th on the year for Pujols. Knocked down by Fontenot, plenty of time, and he gets the out. A two-out home run by Albert Pujols, giving St. Louis a 1-0 lead.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits. Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Nobody said this was going to be easy.
Now, see, if Geico.com had taken that approach, instead of telling everyone it's so easy a caveman can do it, I wouldn't be having an existential meltdown right now.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, let me show you the crib. Whoa, turn it on. Alvarado, please. Set it up in the internet, man.
At eHarmony, we match you across 29 dimensions of compatibility. And right now, not only can you log on to eHarmony.com and get your personality profile, you can also review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you would be matched up with according to compatibility?
He loves me for me.
Visit eHarmony.com and discover what so many singles have found. Log on today and review your eHarmony matches absolutely free. eHarmony.com.
The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
Albert Pujols giving the Cardinals the lead 1-0. Bottom of the 6th. Rich Hill will lead it off. He's going to stick with a starter who has pitched well. 107 pitches through 6, just 3 hits. Bunted by Hill, but he can't get it past Looper. It'll go 1-3. The tag applied by Pujols. now today's Honda Civic game summary. 2 hits for Pujols, including his 26th home run. Brendan Ryan batting 9th behind the pitcher, 1 for 2. Braden Looper has pitched very well, shutting out the Cubs to this point. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today. There's their lone run. Just happened moments ago. Ludwig gets it back fairly quickly, keeping Terrio to a safety. It's his second hit, both singles. Only 2 hits for the Cubs have come from Terrio.
Well, Ryan Terrio, obviously, he runs hard on everything he puts into play, but especially base hits to left field. Watch the aggressive turn that he takes at first base. Left fielder's got a long throw back behind you at first. If he bobbles that ball at all, Ryan Terrio has an opportunity to advance on to second base. If he comes up with it cleanly, you slam on the brakes and get back to first. Have to be a little more careful on base hits to right field, where that right fielder has a clear throwing lane and a much shorter throw behind you at first base. But on base hits to left and left center, no reason not to take a big aggressive turn at first.
Foul, grounded past Pujols. Cardinal fan with the ball. Hustle has come to define Ryan Terrio. Very rare to see his jersey not dirty by the end of a ball game. Very Juan Pierre-like.
Well, Ryan Terrio finds a way to get involved in just about every play of the game. Whether the ball's hit to him or hit to his side of the field, it doesn't make any difference. There's always something for Terrio to do. Back up a play, be right there on a pop-up in case Aramas would happen to drop the ball or something. He's always involved in the game, every play.
2-2 on Jock Jones, who's made the defensive gem of the afternoon. Great running catch out in center, saving a run earlier. It's 3-2.
Boy, Lennon, we know that Jock Jones has been hot lately, and a lot of his base hits have come to the left side of the field. And well, the Cardinals have kind of a little mini shift. David Eckstein shading way up the middle of the field, and Scott Rowland way off the baseline at third. A lot of JJ's hits have come that way recently. I mean, he's got a lot of room to work with on that left side of the infield.
Runner goes. High drive by Jock Jones. Deep left center. Cubs lead 2-1. Fist pump by Jock around first base. And he continues to crush the Cardinals. Man, is he hot. Derek Lee fouls back.
Well, it's been a rough go at times for Jock Jones, but what a game so far today. A great running catch out in center field to save a run earlier in the ball game, and then 2-run homer to give his team the lead here in the 6th inning.
Getting some love from Ronnie Cedeno. That's his power area in left center. Although he did hit one onto Sheffield earlier this week. He's hitting 9 in a row. 3 home runs. 3 of his 5 home runs on the year. Meanwhile, 3-1 on Lee. And he walked him.
A slight wind blowing in here at Wrigley. It didn't affect this one whatsoever. It's not unusual to see Albert Pujols pull a ball through the wind for a home run, but to see Jock Jones go to the opposite field through the wind, you know he crushed that ball. Southwest, how far did it fly? 371 feet to the bleachers in left center field.
Dave Duncan out to chat with Looper.
Big Mo just walked from the first base dugout to the third base dugout. Momentum, such an important part of this game. It was a pitcher's duel early. Albert Pujols with the solo home run in the top of the inning, and the Cubs get it right back with Jock Jones' 2-run homer.
And now Rich Hill working with a lead. Back by Ramirez. You know, Luke could have taken him out. His spot leading off this inning. He was thrown out 1-3 on a bunt attempt. But has pitched very well today. 107 pitches, 69 for strikes. Encarnacion will make the catch. And Ramirez now 0 for 1. He walked his first 2 times. There was one point when it looked like Jock Jones was going to be traded to the Florida Marlins. The deal never did get done. And he got to the point where the Cubs began to rely on him as their everyday center fielder. And after the most disappointing first half of his career, he has been awesome in the second half. No strikes on Darrell Ward. And you know, the other thing Jock did not do is he never complained about not playing. I'm sure he wasn't happy about it. He sat on the bench for quite some time. Just waited for another opportunity and has really taken advantage. That'll be fair past Roland. We'll see if Derek Lee's going to try to score. Mike Quaddy is going to stop him as Ludwig gets it back in fairly quickly. Ball almost hit Derek Lee, actually. Darrell Ward with a double. Second and third with 2 outs.
Kind of gets out in front of this pitch a little bit, hits it off the end of the bat, but puts it right down that third base line. Scott Rowland was shading over toward the hole a little bit. And I was keeping a close eye on Mike Quaddy the whole way. Derek Lee was running hard, and I think if Ludwig bobbles this ball at all, Quaddy maybe sends him on home, but Ludwig picked it up cleanly, got the ball back into the infield, and at that point you had to hold him up.
How about some add-on runs? A single here could possibly score 2. Carlos Marmol's now up for the Cubs. Ball, 1 strike on Merton. He's hit 3 home runs since he was called up from AAA. Drives that ball to right, and Encarnacion will be there to make the catch. Jock Jones with a 2-run homer. That number 2 spot continues to come up huge. He finds the bleachers out in left center to give the Cubs a 2-1 advantage.
Wildest, baddest, most outrageous show on television is coming to late night.
It's a celebration.
Chappelle's Show
premieres September 14th.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
From the small jobs that renew to more ambitious ideas that transform, Ace is here to help with expertise and solutions that work for you. Ace is your place with everything you need for your home. Plus helpful advice. Almost like we're right there. Ace.
The helpful place.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing? What are you doing? Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22 or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
Great ovation out in left center and right center. Dead center. Well, the batter's eye for Jock Jones, who just gave the Cubs a 2-1 lead. Well, let's see, he's saved a run and he's knocked in 2.
He's +3 on the day.
They don't have a plus-minus like they do in hockey. Scott Rowland sends a fly ball to right for Darrell Ward. Time to have a ball with our friends from the Illinois Lottery. Josh Vitters, the Cubs' first-round pick, number 3 overall in this year's draft. Talked to him the other night after he signed just before the deadline, and number 1, stretching, playing catch, taking some batting practice today. He's heading to Mesa, and at some point this year may end up at Boise as he starts his pro career. Third baseman, drafted out of high school in California.
You know, he's probably thrown the baseball, playing catch, millions of times. Who knows how many times he's played catch like that before a ball game, but probably felt like the first time today.
Jim Edmonds grounds out. Rich Hill now the way of getting through 7. Carlos Marmol standing out in the bullpen. And Well, it's been a tight ball game today. Wind blowing in. We didn't know if we would see many, if any, home runs, and we've seen 2.
Well, a couple of balls that were absolutely crushed. Pujols hit his a long way, and the wind and knocked it down in the front part of the bleachers. And Jock Jones, the opposite field home run, that caught me by surprise. I thought it had a chance to get over the head of Ludwig and left, but got all the way up into the bleachers. Great opposite field power.
Gale Sayers coming up with our 7th inning stretch today. One ball, 1 strike on Yadier Molina. So Taguchi on deck. He would hit for Looper. And that 8 spot.
You mentioned earlier this Cardinals ball club very adept at pinch hitting, and Taguchi is one of the better ones on the Cardinals team. 8 for 22 as a pinch hitter. Hopefully he'll come to the plate with nobody on. Next inning.
This should do it here in the 7th. Fontenot to lead, and it's stretch time.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Pro Football Hall of Famer, the great Gale Sayers.
Okay, Cub fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever back. Root for the Cubbies. If you don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you out at the old ball game. Go Cubbies!
Can't we stay another day?
Sure. Florida. Easy to get to, hard to leave. Go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines' $84 internet specials from Chicago Midway to Florida. Purchased by August 23rd.
You are now free to move about the country.
I love our family tradition.
What's that?
Where we pass our plates to the right.
When did that become a family tradition?
When you ordered that.
New shrimp caprese with grilled garlic herb shrimp or new grilled steak caprese. 2 great new dishes at Olive Garden.
Watch Funniest Pets and People and get your groove on. Kick up your heels. Maybe do-si-do or do-si-don't. Watch people and their pets get funky. It's so funny, it'll bring you to your knees. Boogie down with Funniest Pets and People. Brought to you by Kohl's Department Stores. Kohl's, expect great things.
Kansas Comet, great Gale Sayers with our first pitch before the ball game today. Looked like a Rich Hill curveball.
Well, it got to the catcher. That's good enough.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
How you doing, Gale? Good to see you.
I've been good. Thank you very much.
What a beautiful day for Cubs baseball.
It really is.
And your former professional home, Wrigley Field, is Randy Flores now pitching. Able to get Mike Fontenot. He's trying to bunt his way on. So what's going on, Gale? What's happening these days?
Well, the last 23 years I've been in the computer business, and I've been doing that, and it's been going very, very well. And I got a book coming out October the 8th, Gale Sayers, My Life and Times, which talks about today's game and how I feel about the players of today.
Can you give us a little preview about how you feel about the players of today?
There's certain things that I don't like. You know, when a player makes a tackle, he jumps up and down or scores a touchdown. That's what you've been getting paid to do. You know, and when we played, you celebrated after a ball game. You didn't celebrate in the third quarter or the first quarter, and somebody make a tackle and they jump around, and you look at the scoreboard and they're behind by 20 points. So, you know, different things like that I talk about.
Bob, you know, we talk about it with this game as well. There's a sense of decorum that's certainly involved in all sports.
Yes, it is.
Well, then don't you think a certain amount of that, Gale, comes from the incredible amount of coverage that all sports, I mean, we talked about it growing up. We used to get one game a week in baseball, and now it's on every day. And I think guys, they're more entertainers than athletes.
But, that's fine. But everybody today is looking for instant gratification. And they want to be recognized right then. As soon as they make a tackle or intercept a pass right then, they want to have somebody get a camera in their face. But, again, as I said, you celebrate when you win the football game or the baseball game.
2 strikes on Jason Kendall. Well, how about the Bears' season last year, getting to the Super Bowl? And, of course, I know this year they want to get there and win it.
They did a very, very fine job last year, and Indianapolis had a better team, no question about it. And but the Bears got just about everybody back. They lost Thomas Jones, and I think they got a good chance of going back to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a tougher schedule because they played teams from the West, San Diego, Kansas City, Denver, and people like that, and they could lose some of those ball games, but they should have a real fine football team.
There's training camp going on right now. How did you feel around August, what's today, August 17th? Where were you in your getting ready for the season around August 17th?
I came to training camp in shape. All I had to do was get used to getting hit, and this is what players need to get used to getting hit. And some people say they don't like training camp. Oh, I can go play in a game, in a regular season game without getting hit and things like that. No, you can't. You got to get hit and feel that pressure of being hit by bigger people. And if they don't do that, they're going to be hurt in the regular season.
Well, I'll tell you, one day you didn't get hit very often. It was right here at this ballpark back in '65 against the 49ers, 6 touchdowns.
Well, it's one of those days that everything worked right for the Bears and for me. And, if Mr. Howard left me in the game for another 5 minutes, I probably could have scored 8 touchdowns.
Ronnie Cedeno batting for Rich Hill. 2 outs. We're in the 7th, chatting with the great Gale Sayers. How about the year Devin Hester had? Those returns.
He had a great year, no question about it. And you just hope that, he got himself in shape and so he can come back and do the same thing. But, they will know he's in the league now. So it's going to be a little bit tougher. Now they're trying to put him on offense. It's different than hitting somebody than getting hit. And he will find that out.
Another good correlation of this game about scouting reports. Guys who have great rookie seasons, and then the word gets out.
Yes, it does. And I knew that I had to, my rookie year when I scored the 22 touchdowns, I knew I had to come back in top shape because now I'm not, they knew that what I could do. And so I knew they were going to be keying on me, so I had to come back in top shape.
It'll be Brendan Ryan scooting to his right. Looking forward to the book coming out this fall. Gale Sayers, always appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
2-1 Cubs.
Who is Dave Chappelle? Really? He's Rick James, Lil Jon, Blackzilla, a Black Klansman, a Milkman, Tron Carter, Silky Johnson, Gallagher Prince.
It's a celebration.
Chappelle's show is coming to late night.
Premieres September 14th on Superstation WGN.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Yo, oye mamita, no me tomes el pelo. Tú con tanta curva, mira yo sin freno. Wiki, wiki.
What? You told me to bring you a wrap with a little spice.
Yeah.
Rap, not rap.
Oh.
The wrap you're looking for is the new Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. It's the snack wrap you love, but a little spicier, because it has Chipotle barbecue sauce over juicy and tender chicken breast meat.
Rico. Does it seem slow today?
You mean compared to every other day when we're busy stopping bank robbers and getting into car chases?
You seem slower today than normal.
Well, maybe we should go find some trouble instead of waiting for it to come to us.
Trouble knows where to find us. Besides, if it stays this slow, I'll be able to knock off a couple hours early and catch corner gas on Superstation WGN.
Good point. Want me to take the phone off the hook?
I unplugged it a few hours ago.
Corner Gas premieres September 17th on Superstation WGN.
Time now for a Bud Light fan cam as one of baseball's greatest rivalries is renewed. The Way We Get by Spoon. A track released in 2003. Felix P.A. now in center field. Jock Jones in right. Bob Howery on the mound. Chris Duncan, a pinch hitter over Ramirez and just foul. Cubs getting a break there. So today's Bud Light fan cam, always worth it. Big day for Jock Jones, and now in a different spot. Has to check out the angle of that sun.
Musical bullpen here late in the ballgame. We saw Carlos Marmol warming briefly in the last inning, and now it's Bob Howery to take over with a one-run lead in this game.
One and one on Chris Duncan. Only their everyday left fielder. On the bench with a left-handed starter on the mound. And he has scuffled lately. He hasn't hit a home run since July 26th. That was off Jason Marquis, a grand slam. Two for 10 on the trip. Son of pitching coach Dave Duncan. Shelley Duncan of the Yankees. So a couple of Duncan brothers right now in the big leagues.
Almost got our RoboCam there. Check swing foul ball straight back off the bat of Chris Duncan. Almost came right into your living room. Heads up. Get your glove ready.
Two pitch fouled back. His brother Shelley, a right-handed hitter, hitting .310 with the Yankees. 6 home runs and just 42 at bats. So a .383 on base percentage and slugging .738. Outfielder slash first baseman. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Sports, mishaps, and mayhem that's all caught on tape. Whacked Out Sports premieres September 16th on Superstation WGN.
Gorgeous day on the north side of Chicago. 41,634 in attendance. The Cubs with a late 2-1 lead. If they hold on, they'll jump into a tie for first with Milwaukee. Popped up on the bunt attempt by Ryan. Easy catch by Howery. 2 gone. Well, the way this is setting up, Bob, the Cubs have had 1 save opportunity over their last 22 games coming in. Ryan Dempster with the most recent save. That was July 24th, the last time these two clubs met up in St. Louis. It was the last save situation in the 9th inning of any contest for the Cubs. So it's been a while, and that's why Lou announced the other day that Ryan occasionally will come in the 7th or the 8th because he has not gotten much work since he's come off the DL. He'll be ready for the 9th today. PA plays it on the hop as Eckstein keeps the Cardinals alive in the 8th. A sterling performance today for Rich Hill.
Now, Richo was able to avoid the problems he's had in the past where he cruises along in a ball game and suddenly in one inning, for whatever reason, the wheels just seem to come off. That did not happen to Rich today. He was in command from the very first pitch until he came out of this ball game.
Well, Rick Ankiel will bat. And a few Cardinal fans in attendance cheering and Cub fans booing. He's pinch hitting for Ludwig. Left-handed hitter with a lot of power. Called up last week, 8 days ago. 0 for 3 pinch hitting. 1 ball, no strikes on Ankiel. Hit a 3-run homer in his first game back. First time as a position player.
And all 3 home runs have been on fastballs up and out over the plate. He reached out and hooked at least one of them back to right field. He is just steadily sitting on that fastball right now. Had a good cut at that last one from Bob Howery that was on the outside corner.
He hit 2 home runs as a pitcher. 1-1 pitch. Fastball away. 2-1. Can't get too cute here against Ankiel because Pujols is on deck. Swing and a miss. Took a big hack. Came up empty. 2-2.
Good heater on the inside part of the plate. I mentioned his home runs have come on fastballs away. That time swings right underneath a good heater at the knees.
Eckstein, the runner at first. Here comes Howery's 2-2 pitch. Ankiel just getting a piece of it. 95 on the heat from Howery.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see that guy at the plate in this inning. This is the batter you want right here.
Eckstein runs. Here's a throw by Kendall, and it's not in time. Eckstein is 7 for 7 in stolen bases. Now 3-2 on Ankiel.
Eckstein with a good jump over there at first base. Kendall got rid of the ball fairly quick. Throw was just a little bit up the first base side, but Eckstein had too much jump and outran the throw.
Cubs clinging to a 2-1 lead. The payoff delivery. Ball through. Here comes Big Albert. Last time up, he gave the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. That was before the Jock Jones 2-run shot in the bottom of the 6th.
26th home run of the season for Albert Pujols. He's 2 for 5 lifetime against Bob Howery.
This is money time for Albert Pujols. 2-0 the count on him. Howard's last outing resulted in a loss as he gave up the home run to Josh Hamilton 2 nights ago. Chatting with Kendall. Nobody up in the Cubs pen. This 8th inning belongs to Bob Howard.
I mean, normally you would say you definitely don't want to walk Pujols and put the tying run at third base, the go-ahead run at second base, but given the respective careers of the guy at the plate and the guy in the on-deck circle, a walk wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen in this situation.
Totally agree.
Encarnacion 2 for 10 lifetime against Bob Howry and hasn't played since the 8th of August.
Popped him up. Jock Jones shading his eyes. Fontenot's out there as well. It'll be the second baseman to make the catch. Whew. He gets Albert on a 2-0 pitch. A pop out to second. 2-1. Bottom 8.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
Hi, welcome to Conglomerated Airlines. We have 2 emergency exits on this plane, one in the front of the plane and one in the rear. Sit back, relax, enjoy your 4-hour, 50-minute flight.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22 or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
We fell so madly in love.
Rob loves me for who I am. It's really amazing to feel that Harut loves me so unconditionally.
This is eHarmony.com, where thousands of people have found that one special person to accept and love them for who they really are. And right now you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with?
We were just so overwhelmed because it was love at first sight.
eHarmony.com.
The wildest, baddest, most outrageous show on television is coming to late night.
It's a celebration.
Chappelle's Show.
Premieres September 14th.
Well, our Bud Light Fan Cam song, The Way We Get By. This is the way Bob Howry got by. And Pujols on a 2-0 pitch.
Guy that's hit .311 this season with runners in scoring position. As you mentioned, the money hitter in this Cardinals lineup, and Bob Howry came up with a big pitch when he needed it the most.
Well, Bob Howry, total excitement on that mound, jumping all over the place after getting that out. Russ Springer, veteran right-hander, is on in the 8th. 2-1 Cubs. Dempster gets ready in the Cubs pen. Chris Duncan's now in left. Deep pinch hit for Flores. So Springer inserted into the 2 spot for the pinch hitter Ankiel. I'm sorry, Ankiel. Get that right. 1-1. Here's the Cubs' 9th inning man. At least for today. Things can always change. Encarnacion has a beat on it over toward the line and calls it in. We talked about it before. The bullpen setup gives Lou some options with matchups depending on how busy Dempster has been.
Right fielder.
Here's Jock Jones. Big hand for the guy who's done it both ways. Great catch in center, saving a run early, and then the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 6th. Jones didn't like that pitch. Springer working from the stretch with nobody on. Brendan Ryan to make the play. And it's D. Lee with 2 outs, 2 strikeouts and a walk. There you go. What are you running for?
Vote for Bob. Doesn't matter. I'm available for any elected office. Dog catcher, whatever you need.
Right. The king of Wrigleyville, Bob.
What about Bob?
I'm baby stepping. I'm doing all the work. We'll be hanging with Dr. Leo Marvin after the ball game today.
I'm sailing.
One and one on Lee. Sean Marshall, Anthony Reyes tomorrow. Carlos Zambrano for the Cubs against Kip Wells Sunday night. Ted Lilly, Joel Pinheiro Monday afternoon. We'll greet you next on WGN Sports Wednesday night from San Francisco, AT&T Park, Cubs and the Giants. Trip will start in San Francisco and end in Arizona. Tyler Johnson, left-hander up for the Cards. And on the hands, pop foul by Lee. Let's take a look at our upcoming Cubs and Sox high-definition broadcast schedule, sponsored by Comcast. Tuesday night, Sox hosting KC at 7 on WCIU. Red Sox, White Sox next Friday at 7. Brewers and Cubs, that'll be a big one. Thursday, August 30th. WGN Sports 2007 Cubs and Sox baseball in HD, sponsored by Comcast. Strikeout number 3 for Derek on the day, but the Cubs will go to the 9th, leading the Cardinals 2-1 as they try to tie Milwaukee for first.
In the tradition of great police dramas comes a show that's not even close to any of those shows.
Slipped and pooped.
It's a crime
Never actually kicked a block hole.
that they're cops. Reno 911.
Premieres September 14th on Superstation WGN.
What up, P?
Yo, I got an idea.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas touch.
Hi, I'm Keith Hernandez.
And I'm Walt Clyde Frazier.
What a marvelous night for the action.
Let's go to the play-by-play.
Oh, there's Mr. Graybeard approaching Miss Hottie. Oh, no.
Rejected.
Clyde, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, no play for Mr. Gray. Get that man our Just for Men Brush In Color Gel.
It's specially formulated to penetrate coarse facial hair and gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
Home run. Another win with Just for Men.
From wildlife to nightlife, George is back in the swing for his hairiest adventure yet.
Join George and save Homeland.
George of the Jungle 2.
Sunday at 1 on Superstation WGN.
Hey, music fans, the great Etta James is coming to the House of Blues Chicago August 29th, part of the Bud Light concert series at last. Tickets are available by logging on to the House of Blues website, hob.com, at the House of Blues box office, or by calling Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. Etta James along with the Roots Band at House of Blues Chicago. You got to check it out. Bud Light and live music, always worth it.
So here's Ryan Dempster facing Juan Encarnacion. We begin the ninth, 2-1 Cubs. All the runs coming on home runs. Pujols for the Cardinals, Jones for the Cubs. Two balls, no strikes. Again, the last save for Dempster was a last save for the Cubs, July 24th at St. Louis. Drilled to left, but Merton is there. Here's Roland.
26 previous encounters between Ryan Dempster and Scott Rowland. Rowland hitting .231, 6 for 26. He struck out 10 of the 26 at-bats against the club's closer du jour.
To second on the ground, Fontenot up with it. 2 quick outs. 1 out away from a tie for first. Brewers will play tonight at home against Cincinnati. Cubs trying to hold serve. They can pull it out. Identical 62 and 59 records. It will also push the Cardinals back to 3 out. On Jim Edmonds. Outside. Fans are up. The Cardinal fans sitting. Two and two now. Another game, a final. Red Sox in the opener of the day. Nighter beat the Angels 8-4 at Fenway. Here it's 2-1. Fly ball, left field. Matt Merton underneath. Cubs win, and they're back in first. A first place tie with Milwaukee. So after losing the first 2 on this homestand of the Reds, they've come back with 2 straight wins. And Jock Jones, the hero today, he did it on defense and on offense.
Great day for Jock Jones, a great day for Rich Hill, a great day for Cub fans. Beautiful day for a ball game back in first place.
Jock Jones on the field with us. Great game today, JJ.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, first of all, great catch out in center field. Did you see it all the way?
Yeah, I saw it all the way. I got a good jump on it. I know he hit it hard, but I know the wind was blowing in a little bit, so I held it up. So I just caught it before I hit it into the ivy.
Yeah, did you realize how close you were getting to the wall out there? I mean, you were on a dead sprint straight away from home plate when you made that catch.
I felt it, and then I know I had a couple steps on the track, and then when I took that second and third step on the track, I know I was getting close.
All right, how about the two-run homer in the sixth? What were you looking for? What did he throw you?
He threw me a changeup. It was 3-2, and I knew he didn't want to throw me anything hard. He's been soft all game. He came in hard one time, and the rest of the time he was soft. And I don't want to say I was sitting on it, but I was looking to go the other way.
Well, it's such a big series here this weekend, Jock. And let's be honest, you've had some problems here at Wrigley Field with the fans in the past. But how did that make you feel today? The reception you had after that big two-run homer?
It's good, man. I said all along I'm just here to help the team win and do whatever I can to help the team win, and I'll stand by that. And as long as I got the respect of my teammates, that's all that matters to me.
Hey, Jock, Bob and I have talked about your playoff experience and just being in the pennant race with the Twins for a long time. How does that play out this year as far as how you can help some guys who haven't been through something like this?
I mean, I'm talking to some of the young guys, telling them to keep going and to keep their head up. I know it's kind of tough when they're up here and they're not really playing, but I mean, I've been in that position that they're in right now this year, and all I could do is tell them what I went through.
In spring training, you and I talked about center field. You've actually played that position a lot. Not with the Cubs prior to this year, but that's a position you're pretty familiar with.
I came up through the minor leagues playing center field, and then I came up splitting time in center field with a guy named Torrey Hunter. So anytime you got a guy out there like that, you're going to move over for him every time.
Hey, can you talk about Rich Hill today? He hadn't been getting a lot of run support. You supplied all the offense for him today, and I thought he was terrific.
Rich was outstanding. He was moving the ball in and out. His curveball, he was getting his curveball over today. He was getting in on a couple guys' hands, and he battled, and he threw a lot of pitches in a short amount of time, but he battled.
By the way, Jock, that was the first Cubs save since July 24th in St. Louis. I mean, when you guys were winning, you were blowing people out, and to see Ryan go 1-2-3 in the ninth after Howie worked a clean 8, you like to set it up that way, don't you?
Well, you like to set it up that way, but at the same time, if we can still keep blowing people out, then I'd rather Ryan not have any saves until the World Series is over, you know what I mean?
I got you. Nice going today, and go get them tomorrow, all right, Jock?
All right, thank you.
That's Jock Jones with the game-winning two-run homer in the sixth. A great catch earlier, and the Cubs beat the Cardinals 2-1. We'll have much more from beautiful Wrigley Field. Stay with us.
Someone out there has one of our nuclear warheads.
A new threat is near.
We're looking at a nuclear holocaust.
And a new season is about to explode. Jack is back.
We're out of time.
24 weekends. Saturdays at 11:30.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. With Southwest Airlines Internet specials, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to cities in the Midwest for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Yo, oye mamita, no me tomes el pelo. Tú con tanta curva, mira yo sin freno. Wiki, wiki.
What? You told me to bring you a wrap with a little spice.
Yeah.
Rap, not rap.
Oh.
The wrap you're looking for is the new Chipotle Barbecue Snack Wrap. It's the snack wrap you love, but a little spicier, because it has Chipotle barbecue sauce over juicy and tender chicken breast meat.
Rico.
What do you know about this Lacey person?
You want a refill?
Yes, please.
You know, she doesn't have cataracts, so you don't have a chance.
There's something really attractive about a man who likes kids.
Hey, you want to come over later, help me babysit?
No way. I hate kids.
How did it end?
I left without telling you and phoned your parents to say the wedding was off.
She's not a snob, is she? She's snobby?
I feel like a glass of wine. What's your house red?
Hey, what's it say on that bag of wine over there? No, that's ketchup, the one beside it.
You know what? Beer's good.
Well, the line score today, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 4 left for the Cubs. 1 run, just 4 hits, no errors, 5 left for the Cardinals. So 8 hits, 3 runs combined. Rich Hill gets that elusive 7th win. He's 7-7. Braden Looper loses to the Cubs for the first time this year. He's 10-10. Ryan Dempster was save number 18. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Or in the biz, we say 2.5 hours. 41,634 watched it. Today's Budweiser plays of the game. All Jock Jones.
All Jock Jones on both sides of the ball today. That tremendous running catch out in center field saved at least a run. We don't know what would have happened after that, but crashes into the vines after making a great 2-out catch in straightaway center field, and just to prove that he could do it on both sides, came up to the plate with a runner on base, hit a 2-run home run, which was all the Cubs and Rich Hill would need in this ball game today. Nice day for Jock Jones.
Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. By the way, for Rich Hill, a new career high, 7 wins on the season. Cubs back in a first-place tie with Milwaukee. We'll have more from Wrigley Field. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 2-1 to open this big 4-game set.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
When your in-home disasters become America's biggest laughter, we've got it all caught on tape. Every weeknight, you get all the hilarious moments of AFE. Even when things go extremely wrong, laughter makes it oh so right. It's the cranks, pranks, and all-out stupid maneuvers that make Monday nights a splash. Join Tom Bergeron as he brings you the ultimate in reality television.
Common sense is the enemy of comedy. My new motto, stop thinking, start taping.
It's a knockdown, flipped around good time. So when life gets a little crazy, remember to take some time to laugh. America's Funniest Home Videos. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home.
Well, our next telecast of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, will be Wednesday night from San Francisco when the Cubs face Barry Bonds and the Giants. Thinking about the rotation setting up, should be Rich Hill, so I'm not sure if we'll see Barry Bonds in the lineup. We'll be on the air 9 o'clock Central Time with a special edition of the Leadoff Man Show, our 60th year of bringing you Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Baseball like it ought to be. Once again, our final score today, a thriller. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 2-1. So for Bob Brenly, Pete Thomas, Skip Ellison, Mark Brady, Bob Borwald, and our great crew, this is Len Casper inviting you to stay tuned. The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. Comcast. Catch more Cubs home games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV today. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Superstation WGN presents the Back to Cool Weekend with 3 movies that'll make going back to school a little more cool. First, these 2 agents have an assignment to save the world in the Avengers.
Rules are made to be broken.
Then get schooled on some serious monkey business in George of the Jungle 2. And Michael J. Fox gets a lesson or two in dealing with a challenging child star, Life with Mikey. Watch the Back to Cool Weekend on Superstation WGN this weekend. Brought to you in part by Hamburger Helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 happy family.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas Touch.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22 or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
The top 3 face their toughest competition yet. Plus,
America got it wrong when they voted off Tamira. What should America have done to get it right?
American Idol Rewind.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
It's very difficult to kind of verbalize some things.
It's very difficult to sit down and describe yourself in, 3 to 4 sentences.
Dating sites give you a picture and a paragraph. At eHarmony, we do the matching for you based on 29 dimensions of compatibility. And right now, you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with?
Love is pure joy.
eHarmony.com. Log on today.
And now, a funny moment with Brent Butt.
I've never really been hip, even as a kid, even as a teenager. I'd always be the one at the party going, does it have to be that loud, the music? There was always a part of me that was kind of an old guy, My friends would be like, let's get hammered. And I'm like, I'm going to hit the hay. Let's have a good time. I'm going to finish watching Dynasty and turn it in for the night.
Be sure to catch Brent Butt, the star of our brand new comedy series, Quarter Gas. Premieres September 17th, only on Superstation WGN. America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
This is the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevrolet dealers.
It's the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show from Wrigley Field. The Cubs winning a tight one, 2-1 the final. They improved to 12-9 and 1-run decisions at home. Now 16-19 overall in games decided by 1 run. Just 4 hits for each of these 2 clubs. It certainly was a pitcher's day, but the home runs in the 6th inning, all the offense for both teams. Well, Jock Jones, of course, carried the day with the defense and the offense, and those timely hits you always talk about. Once the Cubs got the lead, they were able to shut them down.
Hey, you talk about the timely hits, and let's get back to Albert Pujols for just a second. Had a single and a home run in this ball game, but the biggest at bat of the game for the Cardinals was Albert Pujols at the plate with a couple guys on. Cubs leading by 1. Bob Howry was able to get him probably the pivotal at bat in the ball game if you're a Cardinal fan.
Especially considering it was a 2-0 pitch.
Yeah, he had Howery set up to really deliver the knockout blow right there, but popped it up high to the right side of the field. Everybody took a huge sigh of relief, and the bullpen did a great job today.
And good to see Rich Hill get that win. There has been very little margin for error. When he gave up that solo home run, all of a sudden the Cubs were down. You felt like the ballpark was deflated a little bit, but the Cubs got it right back on the Jones home run.
And that was so important. We talk a lot about momentum in this game, and boy, when one team has it, sometimes it's hard to wrestle it away, but by coming back with that 2-run homer after the Pujols homer, Cubs had Mo in their dugout.
All right, so now the Cubs are tied for first with Milwaukee, and the Brewers will play the Cincinnati Reds tonight, and you like to hold serve, and the Brewers know going in they have a partner up atop the division.
Well, they've known it for a long time that the Cubs are right there knocking on the door, but now officially a dead-footed tie for first place, and the Brewers are going to have to improve their play if they want to stay atop the division.
And St. Louis, it's a kind of a double thing for the Cubs. Not only do you tie the Brewers for first, but now you're 3 games up on the Cardinals. It could have been 1. Every game now kind of counts as 2.
You know, Lennon, everybody looked at this series talking about a must-win series. It's still too early in the season for a must-win. The only must-win is when you either win or go home. We aren't to that point yet, but the Cubs would definitely like to take at least 2 of these 4 games, possibly 3, and ideally all 4.
Well, it's all about Jock Jones today, and Lou Piniella meeting the media, talking about his center fielder, who, by the way, finished the game in right. Here's Lou.
Well, to his credit, you know, he's continued to work and play hard. And he's got that center field job, and we moved him up to the 2-hole in the lineup, and he's really responded. Done a nice job. Made a great play today out in center field. That was a tough play, battling the sun and the ivy, and then gets a 3-2 pitch and hits it out of the ballpark. A big game for him, and a big game for the Chicago Cubs.
How much did you consider doing out of the ordinary and walking Pujols?
Oh boy, with no outs. I mean, with 2 outs. You know, and Connor's young, very capable of doing some damage. So.
I saw you talking to Trammell. Were you talking about it at all?
No. What we had talked about was in RBI situations that we had an open base, we would put him on, but Howery had to get him out with runners on first and second. That was a nice pitch of pitching by Bob. Sent up 2 big left-hand hitters in Ankiel and Duncan, and then he had to get Pujols with 2 outs.
So speaking about pitching, can you talk about the performance that Hill gave you today?
Really nice. Really pitched well. 7 really good innings of baseball. Threw what, about 114 or 15 pitches? Yeah. Used all his pitches. You know, the ball to Pujols was out over the plate, and he's a strong young man, as we all know. But he had his curveball working. He used his changeup effectively, and he pitched to both sides of the plate with his fastball. Just a really nice pitching performance.
Was it looking like another Hooper kind of got you guys into the St. Louis? It was starting to look like it was going to go that way again.
You know, St. Louis has done a nice job over there with a few of their starting pitchers. Looper out of the bullpen to the rotation. Wainwright, but yeah, he hung a breaking ball to Jones, and he drove it into the bleachers out there in left center field. It was a good pitch game on both sides, well played, and it was hard fought, and we were fortunate to come out on top.
You can talk about, you know, your team's going to get hot again, but does that mean that you have to have 3 hot starting pitchers to do that?
It helps. There's no question. Start swinging the bat a little more consistently. Get a few of your starting pitchers hot, and then have a bullpen that's rested that we can match up. Those are the secrets for us. And staying healthy. You saw what happened to us when we encountered too many injuries. It made it rough on us for a while.
You guys kind of bribing you to get to that number 2 spot in the line?
Who's this?
Anybody trying to bribe
You know, DeRosa liked it yesterday. Kendall liked it the day before. Jones likes it. Yeah, it's a nice spot. But Yeah, wherever you hit in the lineup, you still got to get good pitches to hit and do something with them, and that's really the secret.
All right, we got Rich here.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lou.
All right.
That's Lou Piniella. And again, a big day for Jock and the Cubs. They're tied for first. We'll have all the highlights when we come back.
From wildlife to nightlife.
George looked pretty good in our money, too.
George is back in the swing.
Nice.
For his hairiest adventure yet.
As soon as I have cheated the ape out of the deed.
Join George and save Homeland. And they say humans are more evolved.
George of the Jungle 2.
Sunday at 1 on Superstation WGN.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
What's the difference between having fun and having none? The Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and 45-point courtesy check. Just $29.95. Be safe.
Trust the Midas touch.
Crazy, man. Man, you all big time now. I never see you. What? Oh, man, you can see me anytime you want. You give me season tickets?
Nah, check it. If you get this network, you get football 24/7 on the NFL Network.
Get in the game with Dish Network and get football 24/7 on NFL Network and games 5 nights a week for just $29.99 a month.
Happens everywhere I go.
Want all this football? Get in the game with Dish Network.
In the tradition of great police dramas comes a show that's not even close to any of those shows.
Slipped and pooped.
It's a crime that they're cops. Reno 911.
Premieres September 14th on Superstation WGN.
Cubs 2, Cardinals 1. The Cubs now 6-3 against St. Louis this year. 2-2 here, 4-1 at Busch Stadium, and now 26-25 against the National League Central. This day got off to a great start. Carlos Zambrano signing a 5-year contract extension. You have to win on a day like this.
Well, you would think so. Ideally, Carlos would have been pitching today, but we'll wait for that later in the series.
Yeah, that'll be Sunday night. Let's check out the highlights. The Air and Water Show this weekend. A flyby right at the end of the national anthem today, getting everybody ready. Blue skies above. Just a beautiful day for baseball, and Rich Hill was on his game today. 7 strikeouts, just 2 walks. But he had to keep the Cardinals down because Braden Looper was very good as well. So Rich Hill keeping it scoreless up until the 6th inning and being helped by the defense. In the 5th inning with a runner at first, 2 outs, Yadier Molina scores from first on this play. If Jock does not make a great catch, the Culver's sweet defensive play of the game, keeping it a scoreless tie. High fives all around as Jock headed back. Big standing ovation into the dugout in the 6th inning with 2 outs. Albert Pujols will hit his 26th home run, number 276 in his major league career, and the Cardinals all of a sudden led 1-0. But after a Ryan Theriot single in the bottom of the 6th, Jock Jones out to deep left center. He takes it out. Cubs lead 2-1. That's his 5th home run of the year and gives him a 9-game hitting streak. Bob mentioned this earlier. Probably the underrated out of the ball game is Bob Howery on a 2-0 pitch to Albert Pujols with 2 on in the 8th inning.
Difference in location on that pitch. The home run off of Rich Hill was a fastball up and out over the plate. That one from Howery was down and out over the plate.
So that gets Howery out of the 8th inning. Into the 9th inning, Ryan Dempster goes 1, 2, 3. How about 9 pitches to get those 3 outs for Ryan Dempster? His 18th save on the year, first in quite a while since late July. In St. Louis, Cubs win 2-1. And now tied for first in the Central, and now 3 games ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals as their season-high 5-game winning streak comes to an end. Tonight, the Brewers hosting the Reds in Milwaukee. Cubs could be a half game up if the Reds come up victorious. We'll have more from Wrigley Field. Stay with us.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
So, Brooklyn style or Philly cheesesteak pizza?
Big foldable slices or steak and cheese. Guys, Brooklyn or Philly?
Philly. Brooklyn.
Philly. Brooklyn.
Philly. Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
Philly.
Brooklyn.
Philly.
Brooklyn. Philly.
Brooklyn.
No, Philly.
Brooklyn.
Philly.
The debate rages on.
Brooklyn.
Get a large one-topping Brooklyn style or a medium Philly cheesesteak pizza for just $9.99. Call or get them online.
So let me get this straight. With the Dairy Queen Cheeseburger Lovers Deal, I can get 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers for $2.22, or I can sink my teeth into 2 meaty double cheeseburgers for $3.33? They're both such great deals. I mean, which one should I get? The singles? Doubles? Singles? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare to be torn. The Cheeseburger Lovers Deal at DQ. 2 cheeseburgers for $2.22, or 2 double cheeseburgers for $3.33. Do them.
Yeah, all right. You gotta love the floppy hats. I'm telling you what, this is baseball right here, boys.
It's my partner, and I see a big box under there. What is it? Does that have floppy hats on it?
Floppy hats, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 9,999 of them in that box. I broke one out just to put on here.
Well, you're such a big floppy hat fan. He still uses floppy disks in his computer. Good 2-1 win today, and we talked about Rich Hill, and got his 7th win. That's a new career high. And you know what? The numbers probably have been better than maybe he's pitched at certain times. But yeah, I think overall you have to feel pretty good about what he's done. Remember, this is his first full major league season.
I think taken as a whole, you have to be very thrilled with what Rich Hill has done. And today's game specifically, keep in mind, we talked about it during the telecast. They had 6 guys on this ball club that have been hitting over 400 over the last week. This was a red-hot offensive Cardinals ball club that came in here, and Rich Hill shut him down completely.
He pitched a whale of a ball game, and let's listen in on Rich talking to the media after the ball game today.
You know, being up for this game, you can feel it from the fans. The fans really are into it. You know, from the 1st inning to the 9th inning, obviously, one of the best rivalries in baseball. And I think, you know, we know where we are in the position that we're in right now. Right now we're in 1st place, but, you know, we have them on our heels. And the only thing that we're concentrating on doing is what we can do, and that's go out there and win each game 1 game at a time. And that's the approach that we've been taking.
4th inning, you had the Jets were going over and you kind of
Yeah.
Is that a distraction?
For a second, yeah, that was, I mean, he had a, whatever it was, fly right. Yeah, it's you know. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Thought the flyovers went before the game.
Big was Jack Jones' catch.
That was unbelievable. That was a great, just, you know, unbelievable catch. And he played a great game. It was, you know, it's fun to watch him play.
You have Pujols stick out in one of your very few mistakes today. If it indeed was, because he's such a great hitter. But what are you thinking when Howery's got that situation there? His team's game, your game's on the line. He's got that tough situation with Pujols. So what are you thinking about as he's pitching?
As a pitcher, what was I thinking watching the game? that he was going to get him out. I mean, no doubt in my mind. I don't think anybody else's mind either. 10 out of 10 times, that's the guy you want out there in that situation. That's, you know, Bob's done a great job this year coming in and in those situations. And, you know, the way he threw the ball, that's the way we expect. That's what we expect, you know. So, and it was just sitting there watching it. I was, you know, I think it went to 2-2, and, you know, he made a great pitch.
Pitch by pitch.
That's Rich Hill, whose earned run average now 3.73, very solid for the left-hander. Pitching probables the rest of the weekend. It'll be Anthony Reyes, who has pitched well actually lately. Don't let that record fool you. Sean Marshall trying to even up his mark at 6-6. Kip Wells will pitch against Carlos Zambrano on Sunday. Joel Pinheiro and Ted Lilly for the finale on Monday afternoon. Our next telecast of Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports will be Wednesday night, late night of Cubs baseball from the coast, AT&T Park in San Francisco. Cubs 3-1 against the Giants at Wrigley Field earlier this season. 9 o'clock Central Time, a special leadoff man show, and then we'll have all the action as the Cubs take on the Giants. It'll be the middle game of that series. Great start to the day. Carlos Zambrano, now a Chicago Cub through at least 2012. And then the Cubs went out and beat the Cardinals 2-1. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Wednesday from San Francisco.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show has been brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
Whipped scream.
So why did you do that, Eric? Hey? So your eyes hurt?
Nothing is safe from the terrifying twosome. Trains.
Your trains. Your car mats.
Car mats.
Kirsten's clothes.
Kirsten's clothes.
The bed.
The bed.
All over the walls.
The walls.
Hey? What do you think you're doing? I'm making a tape of this so Mommy can see it later.
The critics call whipped scream terrifying, horrifying, scarier than beaches. Whipped scream. Rated R for really sticky.
Make it all nice the way I want it.
In the playroom, no one can hear whipped scream.
what you're doing today, Dan.
Bike riding.
You
know, there are many milestones in a child's life. Their first steps, losing their first tooth, learning how to ride a two-wheeled bike. Parents, don't you look back and wish you had videotaped all of your child's special moments? Little Timmy here has a message for you.
No more videotaping!
Adorable.